I need to do. Hold on. Right, technical difficulties. Right, there we go. We're on the screen now. We're on the screen.
Hey.
Could people hear what we were saying? Or is this the first disaster?
The first of many. The first of many, I would say. Like if this is the only disaster, then something's gone wrong as well.
Who put me in charge? Who put me in charge? Honestly, did anybody hear the intro? Probably not. Well, anyway, we'll just start again. Welcome in. My name is Mallidon. I'm joined by three lovely guests as we are going to be dissecting the draft picks as they happen for December's the FM playoffs. So welcome to the draft show. That has already been a mess. Firstly, let's get to Rich. I did do a lovely intro for you. I'm not sure if anybody heard it. Rich, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thanks, mate. I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, speaking of messes, here I am. So ready to offer ever so little, but I'm just excited to be here.
Good, nice. It's nice to have you here. Next person we've got here. He can't pronounce anything except for his own name, which I can't pronounce. It is Mr. Jack, also known as GoofyGiord. How are we doing, Jack?
I'm very good. I'm very excited for this. You know, it's been a while since I've commentated on a draft, so I'm very, very looking forward to seeing what happens with the legend. So I'm very excited to see how it's going to go.
I mean, as long as it goes better than the show, the draft itself, I'm talking about, then it'll be great. So, and lastly, and possibly least, it's Mr. Tony Jameson. How are we doing, Tony?
Good, man. Good, thank you. This has been the most professional start to any show I've done, and I've done Monday Night Football. So that was amateur, and this is stunning, mate. Stunning. High production value straight off the bat.
Excellent. Well, I mean, the lies and flattery already coming out of 22 relegations. I love to see it. So welcome in. Anyway, so December's playoffs, we have got 12 great competitors for you. We've got the cam behind the cam. We've got Amiga Luke Gaming. We've got DJ Nathy B. We've got Draconis Ursa. We've got McKinn's FM. We've got How We Roll Owen. We've got Simagio. We've got Alistair. And we've got Stick Piano. And they are all jumping at the bit to get into this draft. I'm about to just get into the draft myself. I believe Simagio is sending me the details. So while I'm waiting for that, because I'll be able to show you what's going on as it happens. Si, would you just like to confirm where you're sending me that? That would be brilliant, sir. Firstly, we've got some legends that have been picked. I don't know if you guys have seen the legends on Twitter. What do we think? What are we thinking about the legends? First of all, Tony, any thoughts about the legends? What are you excited to see about?
I mean, look, you call these legends, right? But for me, these have come out at around about the time I stopped really watching football. So for me, they're wonder kids. So I'd be really interested to see how they turn out, to be honest. There's a lot of young players that we're going to see tonight. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited. Very excited. I'm going to make a... So here's where I get from, right? Normally, I think that people would go straight for forward players. Personally, I think if you've got a legend, I think a defender is what I would prefer personally. Okay. Just because of the fact that there's that many good forward players out in the draft pool already, I think defenders are a premium. If you can get a legend defender in, I think you've actually got yourself a nice little bargain there, personally.
So Paolo Maldini is Tony's first pick?
Maldini's the pick. Maldini's the pick. Anyway. I mean, let's be honest. He picks himself.
You know? I mean, I was having a bit of a discussion about him with Mozza earlier on, just how versatile he is. He could probably play right back, left back, centre back, because he did it all in his career. So
exactly. Yeah. And versatility in draft mode, as you know, is key.
Exactly. Jack, what do you think? Who's your legend that you would go for?
It's really interesting at the moment. Looking at the stats, for me, it's Thierry Henry. I think Thierry Henry looks unreal. I'm very sad about Dennis Bergkamp. I have to admit, like when I saw his stats, they shocked me a little bit because I remember Dennis Bergkamp being like an amazing player, and I remember that I was a kid when Dennis Bergkamp was playing for Arsenal. And like he was just amazing. And to look at those stats, it just kind of underwhelmed me. So I'm going to be interested to see who picks Dennis Bergkamp, who goes for Dennis Bergkamp, because he is, I think, the most underwhelming of the legends that have been so far being given out. But I want to see how he works in the game, because maybe his stats might be a bit underwhelming, but however, he might fit the match engine quite well. He might be able to do a job somewhere. So it'd be interesting to see how whoever picks him, and then how that person plays Dennis Bergkamp, and then how they potentially do with him. I think that would be the most interesting thing I'm looking forward to seeing.
Good. And Rich, who's your pick? Who's your legend? Or are you going to go for one of the random ones?
Well, to be completely honest with you, Tony's beating me to it. I think
Okay.
Paolo Maldini all day long. He's one of the greatest defenders of all time. I don't think his stats scream that in the game. In terms of the forward options, for me, Raul. I think Raul is going to do a job behind strikers as part of a front two, even on his own. His stats are fantastic. Like Jack said, Dennis Bergkamp's stats a bit underwhelming. I went through and I couldn't see any stats on there for fluky first touches, so I think he's just going to be a wasted pick, if I'm completely honest with you.
Okay, so I mean, for myself, I've got to be honest. I'm picking Raul because everything is brilliant on Raul except for his balance, and I quite like that. I just, he's going to be shambolic. He's going to run around like Mr. Bean, and he's going to finish like prime R9 probably. So I think Ronaldo's Raul. I just called him Ronaldo, didn't I?
So he's like your Joe Linton. Is that what you're telling us, Mel?
He's my Joe Linton, indeed.
A lot of people do say that Raul is the Spanish Joe Linton.
I mean,
yeah,
it has been said before, and well, actually, I don't think it ever has been said before. But
it's just been said right there.
Yeah,
Literally, they've been said there. Like
it's been said before by Jameson. I'm just waiting for Sai to send me the details. Still, he said on Twitter, but he's not sent me it. So,
the interesting thing for me though is the prices of these legends, right? Because obviously you got to pay for these legends, and I think obviously with the 600 million budget that I think we have, you have to obviously factor in their price and so forth. Could we potentially see a legend not picked? I don't know if that's part of the rules, if they have to be picked, but could we see a legend missed out?
There's absolutely no rule. So nobody, like, somebody could pick them all. But like one person could just pick all the legends and then the random legends. I'm not sure if they'd actually be able to afford it with the £600 million budget we've got. My cat's just... Oi, stop it. Sorry, my cat's just trying to cause havoc there. I don't think there's any rules surrounding the legends at all. So somebody could pick them all, or somebody could pick none of them, basically. So I'm just waiting on, again, Sai has not sent me the details yet.
Who
picked Sai as our draft person?
Yeah,
we've got some of the streams up. So we've had, obviously I've already tweeted out there, McKinsey's done his 9-minute intro, so he's nice. Ready to go. He's got snow, he's got a Christmas hat on.
Yeah, good.
Omega Luke looks incredibly chilled. Draconius is spending a lot of time colouring his suit and his hair. So that's a man who's properly relaxed. Alistair isn't even on yet. He's cutting it to the wire. He's just like, I'll just not even going to bother.
Is Cam there yet?
It. Cam, I can't see Cam yet, to be honest,
because he's waiting on a train basically. So I don't know if he's actually even there. We could be waiting for a while. I hope he is. Otherwise, we'll just have to riff and chat about some other stuff. Tony, what do you think?
I mean, I think, if what we're relying on now is padding, then absolutely you've got the panel for that.
We might already be there. We might already be there. We'll be talking Formula 1 chat or something, or Formula E even.
Don't get me started. But lots to talk about in that, but I can't talk about that now.
No.
What I think we should talk about, boys, is the legends. Let's focus on the legends in terms of, do we think, okay, if you're that first six, do you go for a legend straight away? Do you get your legend or a legend in that first 6 picks if you're in that top 6? Or do you wait? Do you think a legend will fall to the likes of a Stick Piano, who's the 12th overall pick, or to Ali and or so forth, who's a bit further down? Do you think they'll all go? Are we expecting them to go into first round, or do we think they're going to fall a bit?
Rich, what do you think?
For me, I think there are definitely of the 6 that have been announced, I think there are 3 that will go very, very quickly. And I think that's going to be Raul. I think that's going to be Thierry Henry. And I think that's going to be Paolo Maldini. Of the remaining, Steven Gerrard probably next, but I can't see anybody being in an enormous rush to pick up Dennis Bergkamp or Ryan Giggs. I think they could be there for a while. I think they're going to be the kind of players that, people are going to get, 10 picks in. If they're still there and they've managed the budget nicely, I think they might then become options. But I think just for value for money, I think there are better options out there in those positions.
Okay. Tony, thoughts on that?
I agree, to be honest. I think if you're going for a legend in the first round, I think you've vastly missed the draft pool. I think that there are... I just don't think that they jump out right now and are infinitely better than what you're going to get. I think you can get a legend in round 2, 3, 4, maybe. And I think Bergkamp's the one. I love Bergkamp. He is my man, right? Like in real life, Bergkamp is my favorite player probably of all time.
Okay.
And I'm literally crying at the fact that if I was drafting tonight, I'd be leaving Dennis Bergkamp on. I wouldn't even go anywhere near him.
Is it just his pace and his physicals, basically, isn't it? They don't really work within this match engine. Probably.
I think had it been last year in the draft pool when strikerless and shadow strikers were OP, Bergkamp dropping into that sort of that number 10 role, that false 9, would be brilliant. But I think now you've got to go for target forwards if you're playing with forward players. Like target forwards are where it's at. Henry, Jack's already mentioned, the pace of Henry is unreal. Bergkamp doesn't have that. Like the technical standards that Bergkamp has don't really help in draft mode, really. Yeah. And I think that you're better off getting someone like maybe a Gerrard for a bit of engine in midfield, but certainly Maldini would be where I'd be putting my money.
So you mentioned draft mode. So if anybody is joining and doesn't know, Roppy in chat has basically asked the question: "Is what's going on?
Yeah, I'm
what's
trying to
here?
type a reply. So
we don't know, honestly. Anything could happen. We're doing a draft. Basically, this is the FM playoffs. It's a draft tournament. There are 12 managers. We are going to be doing the draft tonight, and the games are going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time. That's when it's going to kick off. Much more professional show tomorrow. Hosted by Mr. Scooter. I'll just be a guest. I'll just be chilling on that, watching the Formula One, probably. I mean, what? No, I never said that. But yeah, we're very close to the drafting beginning. It's a world pool with £600 million to spend. If you didn't see any of the Twitter stuff, we had an advent calendar openings, so managers could pick, and they got given, we've got Raul, Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Paolo Maldini, Steven Gerrard and Ryan Giggs. They got pulled out the advent calendar. £600 million was the budget, decided from that as well. Mostly due, thank you, DJ Nathan B, because without you and pulling out the 500 million, I don't know what we'd be talking about today. Can you imagine that, by the way? But yeah, so it's a draft tournament. We'll be having the group stages tomorrow, and also we'll play all the way through to the final tomorrow. Can you please repeat what you say? No, busting it. I don't think I will. We're very nearly ready. I think everybody is ready. If everybody's ready, we could be looking to start.
Should we guess potentially how much each legend is going to cost?
I think I know some of these.
Okay, but you can't guess. Okay, I'm not
guessing. Yeah, if you guys want to guess, if you guys want to guess how much Thierry Henry costs, perhaps, or
I'll go first. I reckon Thierry Henry is 85 million.
Okay, Tony. My cat thinks 75 million.
Yes, he disagreed with me straight away. She went no.
Yeah,
way lower than that.
I was about to say 90, to be honest. So
okay. Rich, what do you think?
Thierry Henry, I think he's going to be, I'd say 80 million.
Okay. Is anybody taking a note of this?
Yeah, I think Maldini was 80 last time we drafted with legends on. So
okay,
that's the only reason I'm basing it on Henry being a forward player.
I think, to be honest, I think they're all quite high price wise. I'm not sure. What do we think? Dennis Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp has to be the lowest of the legends. What are we thinking there?
75.
75.
Wow.
So he's still a legend.
He is. Would you
I
pay
think-
75 million for him? No. I mean, you've already said
Yeah.
it. Tony's already he's full of the Bergkamp slander. It's brilliant.
No. I
the
hate it.
Bergkamp hate club.
I genuinely hate it because I like in any other time, Bergkamp would be my pick, and I hate the fact that he's like not going to be my pick. Moz has put the prices up, by the way.
Moz has gone in with a bit of a spoiler. He has. So do you want me to go through the prices? I will just go through the price. We've got Paolo Maldini is £60 million. That is a bargain, isn't it?
Especially when he's still got acceleration of 14 as well.
Yeah, I mean, in this pool, I don't know how old he is in this. I think he's probably only like 35. He went on till he was about 49, didn't he? So, he's got plenty of years left in him. Steven Gerrard is 59 million.
Ooh.
Ryan Giggs is 70 million. I'm going to come back to Dennis Bergkamp. Thierry Henry is 78 million. I think my cat was the closest there, with the 75. And Raul is 94 million. So Dennis Bergkamp sitting at 54, by the way. 54 million. Possibly the bargain of the lot.
Right, I'll tell you what, I'll buckle Bergkamp for me then. 54 million
Change your
quid.
mind. Raul's out. He's too much.
You know,
Bergkamp now.
because I thought if he was going to be like 70, 80 million, no chance at all. But 50 million,
54.
54.
Yeah, I'm looking at Bergkamp's stats right now again, and he's kind of like the perfect midfielder. He's got 18 passing, 19 vision, good teamwork, good technique. Work rate maybe a bit low at 12. He could work well as a midfielder. It seems quite odd why you do that, because if you look at the left wing, like I might put him on the wing, for example. But his crossing is not good enough really at 11, and pace is not really good enough either, which is something that you could have used him as a front three. As that attacking midfielder, potentially, you could obviously use him as that attacking midfielder. But, he looks like he's... I think he's better than... When I'm looking at it now, I'm really studying it. He's better than I first thought. But I thought the flair, I think, because Dennis Bergkamp was known for flair. And when I saw flair at 11, I was like, Dennis Bergkamp, flair, 11? Really? Considering all those other stats. But
Yeah.
and because that was what Dennis Bergkamp's game was about, was his little bit of flair. So that's what I think that surprised me. But
Do you know
overall,
what
I think he's not too bad.
Do you know what I think is going to happen? Whoever picks Bergkamp is going to win. Rich, do you agree?
Whoever picks Bergkamp's going to win.
Yeah. I'm calling it now. I'm
Right,
straight in.
okay, wow.
I'm the opposite of Tony in the Bergkamp hate train. Although he's already buckled and picked him. So
I've got me hashtag Team Bergkamp on now. So
yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm still hashtag poor first touch. It's no for me. For me, I think Maldini and a comparatively more affordable centre back, of which there are a lot of good ones in that pool. That is a solid defence. And the other interesting thing, obviously, with the recent patch, with set pieces changing, corners being slightly less effective than they were previously, a good centre back pairing could be. I think for me, that's the key to victory. I think a solid defence is going to see people through.
Okay, good. Can I just say, just so if anybody's wondering what's going on, we've currently got a little disconnect happening. Draft is a little bit iffy. We've got all the competitors have shown up, so that is a good sign. To be honest, I was a bit worried. There was talk of people on trains rushing in to get in at the last second. Everybody is here. We're just trying to get the final person connected there. I'm not going to say who, because it's not their fault. It's We know it's FM. So.
Can I just pick up on what Goofy had said earlier about putting Bergkamp into midfield? The second he said it, I was like, yes, central midfield on attack, Bergkamp this year. That would work nice.
Okay.
That would work nicely.
Not a shadow striker?
No, I think central midfield, because central midfield on attack is such a lovely position this year. The second Goofy said midfield, I was like, yeah, Yeah, he fits there. He fits
He
there.
has the
But you
perfect
need
attributes for it.
but you need a really strong midfielder with defensive capabilities around him to cover for him. But yeah, I think that could work, Goofy. I think you've made a good shout there, man.
I think, as I said, I'm comparing his midfieldery stats to someone like Steven Gerrard, and obviously they're quite similar in price point.
Mhm.
And I've now that I've said that, I've lost Steven Gerrard. I've lost the tweet that Moz has said. I've kind of lost, but the passing, the technique for Steven Gerrard is just slightly lower. But there's not much in between the pair of them, to be honest with you. But for 5 million less, you could. I think potentially as an attacking midfielder, if someone was to go with a 4-2-3-1, for example, he might work quite well in there with the two midfielders behind him, and you can have him as an attacking midfielder rather than a shadow striker or even an advanced playmaker. Might be a really good role to utilize Dennis Bergkamp. And filter the play, because he's the passing and the vision and so forth and the decisions that he makes, they're all there. And also then you don't rely too much on his physicality, because you've got two people behind him. He doesn't have to run as much, so you kind of got him in that perfect position as an attacking midfielder potentially. Dropping him into midfield, you'd probably want to have three in midfield. Either a flat cross, a flip mill with that centre midfield on attack, for example, or an advanced playmaker, however you want to decide it. Or you have the defensive holding one as like a box-to-box, for example, and then you've got him pushing on further forward into that space, which an attacking midfielder could do. You could do that potentially with his. But they're ideas, right? It's just, and that's the thing, right? So all these competitors, now they would have studied all what the attributes are for Bergkamp and Ryan Giggs, Steven Gerrard, and they've got to make the decision. That's the great thing. They've got to make the decision. Is it worth drafting a legend over someone who's in the game, who already does who they might know they've practiced with, because they wouldn't have been able to practice with Dennis Bergkamp, and then someone they can trust in that position? Or are they going to take a punt on a legend that they haven't played with before, don't know how their attributes really work with the match engine, to just so they have a legend, if that makes sense?
Let's just, while we're talking about legends, let's also just tell everybody. So it was tweeted out a little while ago. We're going to actually sort of do this on the channel. If anybody picks, there are 6 random legends in the pool. They're all Faroese nationalities, because Mozza loves Faroes. He loves sucking up to the Faroe Isles. It's it's good. If somebody picks one of them, they're £60 million each. And if somebody picks one of them, we're gonna assign them a random legend. They're not gonna know what position it's gonna be, so it could be anybody. Only maybe I know, and maybe Mozza knows who these people are going to be. What do you lads think about that? Do you think anybody's going to take that gamble?
I think it depends. I think it depends on how your first 3 picks go. But if you're not getting, like, say you're near the bottom of the draft order, like maybe you're like sort of, what we got, like maybe you're 8th or 7th or something, and you've got a really short list, and your picks are already gone. I think by about round 3, you might be tempted to roll that dice, like, because you might just get lucky, and it might be something that you're not considering, and it might fill a little gap that you otherwise couldn't fill, because you might fluke a defender, you might fluke a striker that you just can't afford. So I think maybe about round 3 or 4, I think someone might chance it.
Right, just to let you know, the shortlisting is currently going on. Here you will now. You should now be able to see I am in the draft. I'm going to be having to change my format. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, what currency are you currently in?
I've just realised I'm still on my my own save Danish krone. Where on earth are pounds? Oh my goodness. Where's pounds? I can't see it. There we go. Right.
It's very rare that I'm the professional one on a stream, but
I knew that was going to happen. I've forgotten to do that. Right, let's just change into normal currency that everybody understands, hopefully.
It was in there, £42 billion.
I mean, inflation, Tori, thing. Prices have gone up.
This is exactly why Mal lost his job in the Bureau de Change.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
It's taken a little while to get me back in. Imagine if I had to do that while I was shortlisting in a draft. This could be a disaster. Fortunately, that's not what's happening.
You get Danish
I don't
currency.
have to do
You get
anything.
Danish currency. You get Danish currency.
But yeah, so we are in the shortlisting phase. I'm assuming this is going to change any time now. It doesn't matter. I think we've got 5 minutes for shortlisting. Once that's done, we should get the picks. If I can't see the picks, it's going to be a disaster. We're going to be dragging somebody's stream up very quickly, showing you that instead. I'm assuming this will fix itself if I just don't touch anything.
Going back to the £60 million players.
Yeah, the random ones.
It is a risk, but you think that they're legends. The only thing that's in the back, if I was in this competition, I'd be very wary of going for one, because even though in the back of my mind I'm like, they have to be legends. So for 60 million, right, I could get someone who's really good, right, because these are legends. But I don't know if Santa Claus has been brought his naughty or if he's brought his nice list today. So I don't know if I'm going to pick a 60 million legend and reach for someone. That's the gamble, right? That's the gamble. You've got JJ Okocha, who's 35 years old, and you're like, okay, great. JJ Okocha was a great player, but I've just spent 60 million on JJ Okocha, and I'm like quite sad on that. I don't know if JJ Okocha is one of the legends, by the way.
I can't confirm or deny.
Exactly. But I don't know how it's going to go.
It's a good point, Jack. One man's legend is another man's Andy Carroll, isn't it? So it's that thing. How do you define legend? Is Shola Amiobi a legend? No. Is Kevin Phillips a legend? Yes. But yeah, you spend 60 million, you get Kevin Phillips. There'll be some people who'll be a little bit pissed off.
Honestly, out of the 0102 pool, who would you want as your random legend then? Who would you think? Rich? Who would you like? Players that we haven't talked about. Who would you like?
For me, I'm thinking about players like somebody like an Adriano.
Ooh.
I rated Adriano in that database. I really, really enjoyed playing with that 0102 Inter team. Yeah, that's the real nostalgic pick for me.
That was shortly after he's moved to Inter, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Was it kind of from Parma, wasn't it? Or yeah. Good shout, Tony.
Yeah.
What do you think? Tony's still having to think. He's like, ooh.
I've got Kevin Phillips in my head.
I mean, go for it.
Brilliant.
Kevin Phillips, there you go.
Yeah, I'd have that. Kevin Phillips or Niall Quinn, either. Just roll, tell you what, blind pick. Put either of them in there. I'll play the other one.
Jack, what are you thinking?
The first name that sprung to my mind was Luis Figo.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I remember Luis Figo, obviously a great free kick taker, another player to put in the midfield. And I think for 60 million, if you got Luis Figo, I think you'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, 100%. What about Casillas?
Casillas? I mean, he was around then, yeah.
Or Buffon or something, maybe just like just a random position like a goalkeeper. You'd be sitting there going, 60 million on a goalkeeper's a lot, but someone like a Buffon or someone like a Barthez or something, would you be sitting there going, maybe for 60 million quid, maybe I might roll the dice on that?
Would you think of Barthez? Ooh.
Right, so Moz has put in the chat that we've got 55 seconds to go. I don't know if your skin is reloaded. Here we go.
Things have gone very badly. I'm assuming this is happening for everybody. Hood Gaming has the first pick. Hood Gaming, Mr. Steve Hood, isn't it? I'm assuming he's live on the old YouTubes just now, or
I'm
maybe
trying to pull him up. Kempson's just reminded me that Buffon is still going. I'm aware of that, and I think that's even better.
Yeah.
That he'd be a legend who's also still available in the draft.
It's a wee question in the chat, by the way.
I would allow you to then have the two options of legend Buffon or actual Buffon.
Legend probably a bit better. There was a wee question in the chat. Just what the pool is outside of the 6 legends that we've got. It's just a world pool. So the top 6,000 or so best players in the world just now, and a £600 million budget. And the first pick is gone. It's Paolo Maldini.
Told you.
Ooh. Rich is delighted.
Yes, very happy with that. Very happy with that.
Is Mr. Hood Gaming your new favourite now?
Not quite my new favourite. I love you, Hood Gaming. But he's made a very, very, very smart decision there.
Raul is gone as well. Raul has gone to Vilrac, who is a French manager who, I believe he'll be live on Twitch at the moment, probably.
I'm excited to see him, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, see what he's got.
Mm.
Fabinho, Pumpster's just gone boring and gone with normal players. And Virgil van Dijk from Cam. So Van Dijk very early.
Well, isn't that what we expect, though?
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't get Maldini, you go Van Dijk, right?
Actually, I take back everything we said before. Whoever rolls the dice on a random £60 million legend first, they're going to win.
Okay.
There you go.
I really hope somebody goes for it. Thierry Henry has gone. Thierry Henry was like a lot of people missed him, went past him for £77.5 million.
Yeah, I'm
Amiga
surprised
look.
Pumpster went for Fabinho first pick. That does surprise me, considering the other options. You have to really, 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 really like Fabinho to take him at a first pick with such talent available. Like, Messi hasn't gone yet, Ronaldo hasn't gone yet. But you take Fabinho. I think that is a reach. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he would have been available in the second round.
Yeah, is he looking at cover for midfield and defence though, and he's figured that he's a bit of a sneaky one, so maybe that's why he's gone first round. But
yeah, it's something I've done in the past myself. I've gone with a Fabinho first pick, and we all know how badly I've done in drafts. So, possibly not a good idea.
Oh, Random Legend 60 million has just been picked.
Draconis. Somebody's actually done it.
Here he goes.
Yes, let's go. Let's go, Draconis. I love Draconis. Ryan Gold first pick in the last playoffs.
Not online, by the way. I'm just trying to.
All right, okay.
Draconius up now.
Steven Gerrard was the pick before, by the way, for DJ Nathy B.
Yeah, DJ Nathy B got Gerrard. We just saw Lukaku go. I missed who Lukaku went to.
He went to McKinn's.
Nice. Erling Haaland has gone to how we roll Owen, Eugene, whatever you want to call him. Many names are available. Are you guys surprised to see Haaland and Lukaku, probably two of the best sort of strikers in the normal pool, go after some of the other players? Or is this normal?
I think this is about right. I was expecting Henry and Raul to go first and so forth. And maybe Maldini, because I think for the price is good for that. But I'm shocked that Draconis, to be honest with you, I am shocked that Draconis went straight, because get someone like Ronaldo or Messi, who, by the way, are still on the board, or Mbappe, for example, get that in your basket first effectively, then see where you are. To go straight away, I think it's a slight risk. Well,
Rich has called the winner. Draconis has won the tournament by all accounts. So
we've got a little request in the chat to see the stats of the attributes of the random legend. This is not indicative of who the legend is, honestly. So we'll show you that very quickly and then leave it, because it doesn't mean anything. Sadio Mane. Sai has got Sadio Mane, one of his favourite players.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that McKinn's went for Lukaku as well. He's had a lot of success with Lukaku in previous drafts. So again, as Jack was saying previously,
and Varane
playing with players who you've used before. You know,
Ali has picked Varane. Or I should click finish picking so that I don't accidentally pick players. Otherwise, Bobby Town could end up with the best team by mistake, which we don't want. So, Rafael Varane for the reigning champion.
I'm interested in that pick because Stick Piano is a massive Rafael Varane pick. And with Ali being one pick ahead of him, knowing that, going into that, knowing what Stick players like, you can kind of, stop your other team going and make, Stick's using a bit of his time now. He's had a minute or so to pick his player, and maybe Varane was on his shortlist for his first overall pick, and now he's going to have to change his tactic.
Do you think he's sitting there with an Ali voodoo doll, just punching it right now?
I've just been in Amiga Luke's chat, and everyone's begging him to go Bergkamp first pick. So just have a look at that. That might be a thing to watch out for.
Okay, I mean Bergkamp is still there,
as well as Giggs, and also he could, potentially Luke, if it does go that way, could fool himself and find that second or third, or still have a chance to pick up a legend potentially. Because remember, I keep saying this: Messi and Ronaldo are still on the board.
Leroy Sané.
Which one would you pick, Jack, out of Messi and Ronaldo at this point?
I think Ronaldo.
Yeah, probably.
I've heard there's a lot to be said about accidentally picking Messi in your first draft pick. So,
Can I just say, Stick's first pick was Leroy Sané.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
That's a bit interesting. I mean, he's a very good player, but what do we think, Rich? Would you pick Leroy Sané first pick?
it's a bold first pick, isn't it? Considering what's left on the board, considering the pool of players available in those positions.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody makes a very bold first pick, like a Sane, like a Fabinho, it says to me they've got a very regimented game plan. And so that may be indicative of the bigger picture. So, so it's a bit scary.
I mean, especially when you've got Mbappe and Ronaldo and Lewandowski still there.
Even as well, if you're picking Sane, you've
And
also
Kurt
got
Zouma.
players like if you're going to pick players specifically for that position, you've got Pulisic, you've got Rafinha as well. Like, so again, to go out early doors on Sane, as Rich says, you've got your team in mind, and you're just picking your team. Like, you're not deviating by who's still available. You're like going, now, I've worked this out that I will not be getting the big hitters.
Well, the picks are coming in quick and fast. Stick has picked Zuma as his second pick. Sani and Zuma. Ali has gone for Jack Grealish, and Sai has picked Trent. What are we thinking? Still no Mbappe, still no Ronaldo.
I am shocked. Stick's picks underwhelmed me massively. Because Sane and Zuma's a very match engine pick. And still praying that he will be the one for the corners, which I understand. But I think, again, with the talent available, he could have fallen, potentially. And there's other players around, as McKinn's goes Ramos, that could have gone, like, to pass up, to go Sane and Zuma and pass up on Mbappe, pass up on someone like a Ronaldo or a Messi. I know they're a lot of money, and I know we've only got 600 million to play with. But that, I'm interested. And another So the random legends, Draconis has gone for both random legends.
Wow. Wow.
My hero.
Draconis.
I like this.
Come on.
I like this. Like to be honest, like the idea of going for getting your defenders in first, I respect that. That's sort of where my head goes quickly. I would try and get my defense sort of first, because I think the talent pool of defenders is smaller than the talent pool of forward players. However, I don't think that Zuma and Varane are the two players you jump straight to for your first two picks.
My question is, Mal, and you may know the answer to this, is does Draconius get to find out who his random legends in? When does he get to find out? Because at the moment, he hasn't got a team.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't know his... So he's still got a blank canvas.
It's going to be at the end of the draft. So everything's going to have to be picked. And then we will draw them live on the stream.
So he's got a blank canvas then. So he still doesn't know if he's got a defenders, midfielders, attack. He's still got to start from scratch. He doesn't know what he's going to get. So he still has to plan to draft normally at some stage.
I thought DJ and ATB was so baffled by the double random legend that took nearly a minute and a half to pick, and then went with a random legend. Let's go. We've got 3 random legends picked. I'm loving this. What are we thinking then? This is great. I didn't expect this to.
I think it's fantastic.
I didn't think people were going to gamble, but they are. They are gambling massively.
Hey, you could end up though with the final jigsaw piece of your puzzle, couldn't you? You could end up being so unbalanced. Unbalanced.
That's why I think going now is really risky. Like, fair play, but it's risky because, as I said, you don't know who this player is. You don't know, do I now draft? How many strikers do I draft? How many, does it change my system when I get to find out, or have I banked on it being a midfielder, for example, and just gambled and then it's ended up being a striker and I'm a midfielder short. Draconius, DJ, straight away, they've got to now really think strategically about how they're going to plan the rest of their players that they pick.
Talking of strategic thinking, Omega took a minute there to pick Salah, and then we had an instant pick from Cam. He went Muriel. Lewis Muriel, one of Cam's favourite players. He loves picking Muriel. Got him to the semi-final one time in one of the... I'm sure he'll be quick to add. Also, other players that we might have not quite picked up on. Donnarumma has gone to How We Rollowin. So He's got a really good goalkeeper. Probably the best keeper in the pool.
Is that
Maybe.
Pumps they're taking Neymar?
Neymar going and
There's Neymar got to
Skriniar.
Hood Gaming. So Hood Gaming. So Neymar went to Hood Gaming with Skriniar. So that means we've missed Pumpster's pick and Volkswagen's
Let's
pick.
have a look. Allison. We've got an Allison from Vilrack and Dennis Bergkamp.
Bergkamp's gone.
Bergkamp went to Pumpster. Get in there, Pumpster. Come on, then. Nice. Don't worry. If we miss anything, we can easily get back in and see it. So, okay. Well, Dennis Bergkamp's gone. I think Giggs is the only legend that hasn't gone now. Do we think somebody's going to pick him, or
70 million's a lot of money.
there's a lot of shaking heads there, just like no.
70 million is a lot of money.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, just based on his stats, not great for £70 million.
Pumpster's going for a random legend as well. I did not expect that. I think most of the random legends are now picked.
Is that Ryan Gold? Wow.
Ryan Gold. Cam's got a Ryan Gold pick. Let's go.
There's two random legends left, and DJ Nathan B is demanding Andy Cole.
Oh,
Yeah, Andy Cole.
I mean, that's not how it works. That's not how it works, Nathan. I'm
No,
sorry.
no.
You're the one that brought all the millions into this pool.
He saved the draft,
from the
to be
advent
honest, because
calendar,
at
but-
one point, like the draft pool was like £9 or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was about £9.50 in a Freddle bar.
it's just like,
And
just
then
line all
Nathan
the
saved
players
it.
up and
Yeah.
like going, right, you can have 6. There, that's your pool.
Unfortunately, we can't. Even though you've done us the favour of pulling the 500 million out, we can't give you Andy Cole. Or well, I mean, maybe we can. I'm not saying anything.
He'll be furious if Andy Cole's one of them and he didn't get it.
Imagine. Oh,
When he said Andy Cole, then I thought Dwight York as well because he was a baller. That pairing was amazing at Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
let's just a quick recap if we missed anything. So Laporte went to Vilrack after the Skriniar pick, random legend to Pumpster, and then that Ryan Gold pick. So I mean, Cam's last 2 picks have been Luis Muriel and Ryan Gold.
Inspired.
Yeah.
It's certainly something. Delict has gone to Omega Luke. Decent pick.
Yeah.
Decent pick. And Onana goes to DJ Nathan B. He's given up on Andy Cole.
I think you can see who drafts regularly. I think it's starting to become a little bit of a sort of pattern to people who draft regularly.
Yeah.
I noticed this when I first started. Like I went with just, oh, they're great, and then got to trying to select the team, and just went, none of them are any good at all, are they? Like this is just like panic picking.
Yeah.
Whereas you can see there's certainly a thought process with a couple of the guys who have going with players that they have drafted before, and that you're already sort of going, yeah, cool, that's their sort of pick, and it's interesting. It's interesting, we'll see how it goes.
They're coming in thick and fast. We've got Draconis picking Osimhen. We have got McKinn's with Bernardo Silva. How we roll Owen has picked one of the random legends. Get in, Owen. Come on.
Nice, Owen.
Go on.
And an SMS pick from Sai as well.
Mane, Trent, and Savic are very side picks.
Yeah. This is a very Sai team, isn't it, Jack?
Very side team at the moment, but that's how Sai does it, And that's the thing with these legends being thrown in. It does allow someone like a Stick, like a Sai, to pick the team that they normally pick because people get excited. They want to pick these legends, and they're like, "Yeah, you take these legends. I'll just get my team. Thank you very much."
So it could be playing into other people who go, "Yeah, you can have your fun. I'm going to go with my plan." Is what you're saying?
Yep, indeed. Although I definitely would have put, if I could, as Vardy goes to Ali, Henry in my plan because he would have been one of my first picks if I was playing.
Rich, what would your plan be if you were in this draft? Would you be going exciting, or would you be going, do you know what, I'm gonna play it safe and pick the players that I've been using?
To be honest with you, a couple of hours ago I would have had a very different answer for you. After the 6 random legends got announced, I think that got me excited. Just going through the chat, apparently, according to Draconis' stream, he's going to pick up random legends until they're gone, which I think is a hell of a tactic. It's a very bold move.
Yeah, he picked Osimhen in his last round, Draconius, but however, there is one there is still one left, I believe. One random legend left.
Yeah,
Who was Stick's pick, by the way, that we missed?
Hakimi and Pau Torres. Stick is getting the defenders in.
Hakimi's
there.
a great pick because I think he
Yes.
hasn't really lost much talent at all, and his
A
price
reigning
has dropped.
champion Ali is taking the final random legend.
Okay.
Go on, Ali.
They're all trusting that me and Mozza actually have a plan for this. We probably didn't expect people to actually pick these players, to be honest. Mozza, quick, plan B.
So
We're gonna have to make up some legends. Right, anyway, Divin Savata goes to Sai.
yeah,
Good pick.
I think the major talking point here actually is that we might be going through this draft without seeing Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo being picked at all.
I mean, there's still a lot of money. I mean, we're looking at Owen has got 439 million, McKinsey's got 426. The thing is, we're only a couple of picks in still. Like we're.
Are we shocked that they've dropped into the 4th round then? As Mbappe finally goes.
I mean, Mbappe just finally goes to Owen.
But are we
in the
shocked
fourth
that
round.
he's dropped to the 4th round?
I think that the second you start putting legends in, I think people go, ooh. And I think that's maybe slightly swayed people. Like, to get Mbappe into the 4th round, it's never going to happen in a normal draft. Like, without any legends or without any sort of like extra stipulations, Mbappe goes round 1 easy.
Yeah.
Round 2, at a push. But yeah, because of the fact you've got legends and mystery boxes, everyone's went, mystery box. You know, and then they went, oh shit, Mbappe's still there. Like,
Would you like £1 million or the mystery box? Well, give me the mystery box. Go. What's it got in it?
here's Andy Hinchcliffe. Like, oh, so close. So close.
Nearly. He's nearly worth £1 million. Just catching up then as well. Brozovic goes to McKinn's. Decent pick, decent midfielder. It's not Ryan
Again,
Giggs,
great
though.
price, 28 million. So it keeps him in the hunt for any Ronaldo, Messi, Lewandowski, any player that he wants to pick up. It keeps him in the hunt. He's got Lukaku, Ramos, Silva, and Brozovic. So Brozovic saves him a little bit of money because Ramos has gone down in price. Silva as well down in price to 50 million. Lukaku's still up there though, price wise, but it just keeps him in the hunt, I would say.
Are we at all? I mean, I'm gonna ask. I've asked this before, but are we at all surprised that we're now this far in and Giggs still hasn't been picked? Are we just going to call it now and say he's never getting picked?
I think if someone's got a lot of money left at the end, they might just throw it at him. But
I mean, let's look at Ryan Giggs. Why wouldn't you pick Ryan Giggs? Somebody.
Do you want me to say it? Do you want me to say it?
There's a reason. Yeah.
Give you a reason to why I wouldn't pick him.
I mean, on FM.
I want to get invited back, so I'm just going to...
Keep it to FM things. Keep it to FM things only. Is it literally just because he's there? I mean, I get that. I
think the chat seemed to have given a very,
Yeah. Okay, so
here's the reason why.
If everybody wants to throw some abuse at the person who added Ryan Giggs to the pool, that is Mozza. Just at Mozza right now and throw some abuse at him.
To be fair, if we look at Ryan Giggs, his pace is there, right? So he's got great pace, great acceleration, right? So for 70 million, you do get something, right? You get something that you can use.
He's very good. Just not as a person.
He is, and he was a great player. But I'd rather that we put the word Mark Overmars on there or Lee Sharp, and then I'd be straight over it, you know. But the fact that it's who it is, I think is just like nah.
Fair.
And you know what? I applaud the fact that there's morals in the FM playoffs.
Yeah,
The drafters going, no, not for me, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of catching up then. Unai Simon has gone to Draconis. DJ Nathy B has picked Chiro Immobile. I like Immobile. Good pick. Omega Luke has picked Leon Goretzka. Cam has gone for a Cherby. Decent centre-back. I like him as well. He's a bit slow, but very good. Mason Greenwood to Pumpster. And Timo Werner. Timo Werner goes to Hood. We also missed Casemiro. Casemiro to Vilrak. Pretty standard picks now. There's not that many legends left, so just Giggs.
I think just Giggs is the only one left. Yeah.
So yeah, we're now down to Kimpembe for Hood Gaming.
Again, a good pick for 27 million.
Yeah.
Very
good.
Excellent.
Better than Kurt Zuma. I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Kurt Zuma and he's 50 pence head always goes over for me every time. Not impressed with him. So at this stage in a draft, all the legends are gone.
Mhm.
Are we? Everybody's now in plan A now, aren't they? Because it's like the excitement's gone a little bit. We still haven't seen Lewandowski go. Ronaldo's not gone. Messi's still sitting there. There is still some money. People have got 431 million left. Is there a chance that they're going to go?
And it's a lot of money as well. Like
Yeah.
600 million for a draft pool is a lot
Mhm.
in it. So even with the legends in there, you're still not really far out of a normal draft pool limit.
Yeah.
So you could still draft your pretty good picks.
Yeah.
But yeah, to have those guys in rounds 3 and 4 is just crazy, to be honest, when you think about it like that.
Yeah. It's 100 million more than what we had last year, and we were picking Ronaldo at 99 million and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Kanji to Popstar.
Oh, Akanji. Yeah. And we saw Bonucci going as well, just there to Vilrak. Yep. Good pick again. Not as good as he was last year, I don't think. I feel like last FM I used to pick Chiellini and Bonucci, and I feel like they've gone off a little bit.
I mean, if you're wondering just how relaxed Draconius is, so not only is he picking just random picks to go like, someone else can work this one out, he's also currently eating his dinner on stream. So he gives zero fucks.
Brilliant.
So he's just Draconius. I think, Rich, you've called it right, man. This guy's going to win it. Like, he's just leaving it in the lap of the gods, going, someone else will sort this one out.
Yeah.
You know,
He's got Osman and Simon at the moment.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
his two confirmed players.
I mean, if nobody saw last playoffs, Draconis picked Ryan Gold as first pick. I kept saying meme team. Actually picked a pretty solid team throughout and finished in the semi-finals on his playoffs debut. So with a Ryan Gold first pick last time, who knows? He's got about 2 or 3 of these legends, the random legends. So he could do something here. And he's confident, obviously. So yeah,
him and Ali for their debuts looked really strong, really strong in the last playoffs. And I think that's going to be. They've now got targets on their backs because they flew so under the radar last season. Sorry. Whereas now everyone's a little bit more aware of them, and they're going to be like, "Going, okay, what are you bringing this? What are you bringing this season?" And yeah, it's going to be. I think if Draconius is just as chilled out as he appears, then I think this is like such a fantastic technique. You know, when you watch UFC and there's just like fighters just that walk in and they're just not fussed. You're sort of going, how are you meant to beat a guy who just doesn't care? Like, this is it. This is the new stage, I think.
Mm-hmm. And we've just had Tyrone Mings from Draconis as well. So, like, I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. But
I think he's gone out for a takeout coffee as well. He's got like a proper takeout coffee.
Well, if anybody missed last playoffs, not only did he pick Ryan Gold first pick, not only did he have a bit of a meme team. At one point, he had to nip to the shops to get some milk for his mum, and then finished in the semi-final. So watch out for Draconis. Like there's a lot of competency there. I'm just
going to tweet out #BestLad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shouts being done in the chat here for some of the CMO 102 proper legends like Cherno Samba, Maxim Shigalko. Unfortunately, I will write spoilers in the chat. I will say that we haven't considered them, largely because they're sort of players that you built up, you trained up. They don't start off very, very good in the draft pool. I mean, I thought that as well. Who was my pick? That I was when we did a little tester for this one. I can't remember. I was asking Mad Scientist, is Toe Madeira in the pool? And he went, yeah, but he's not very good. The famous fake player.
What about Dario Serna?
Dario
the
Serna?
Croatian fullback. He was very, very good, wasn't he? From day one.
Always just to try and sign him and just about every save. Him and, what's his name, the goalie?
I know who you mean.
Yeah, you know who I mean? I can't remember his name, though.
Not Sebastian Frey.
Sebastian Frey.
Yeah.
There was the Ukrainian goalkeeper was superb as well, wasn't he?
What was his name? Somebody's going to... Akinfeev. That's it. He's Russian. He's Russian.
Yeah. Shout out to the Mad Scientist now who's in the chat.
There he is, yeah. There's the Mad Scientist. the next month we're going to be doing the full playoffs on the CM 0102 database. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun. Maybe some of these legends will be popping in because maybe people will just pick them anyway, just for a bit of a laugh, you know.
Mark Kerr should be in here.
Mark Kerr. He joined my team, Dundee United, in real life a couple of years after, you know. He didn't quite turn out to be the world beater he did in CM, unfortunately. Quick little roundup, because we've been missing picks. So, what have we got? We've got quite a few picks going on. We have got, so after Tyrone Mings, we've had Raheem Sterling picked by McKinns. How We Roll Owen has picked Sol. Jadon Sancho has gone to Sai Maggio. He's another good pick from Sai. Ali has picked Luis Alberto. Good pick there. Theo Hernandez has gone to Sticks. Sticks picking so many defenders. And then he's picked Lautaro Martinez, so he's finally got a striker on the board. And Federico Chiesa. Enrico's son. Enrico. How good's he in CMO 102? I'm not sure. He must be quite good.
Well, Zola.
Ooh. Ooh. We're all just salivating at the thought now, aren't we?
Apparently Zola had bad.
Warhurst.
Apparently Zola had bad physicals on 0102. Apparently,
I think he was getting more towards the end of his time at Chelsea. I think. So he was going to be on the.
Yeah, he could be sort of the bear camp, you know, style. Really good technical and mentals, and then not so much on the physicals. Yeah. Can't believe the best Scottish FM manager hasn't made it. Ryan Watson, who's that? Is that Mozza? Are you a Mozza?
No, I think it's a reference to Mark Kerr.
Oh, right.
I think we're talking about 0102 legends.
Right.
I think that was it. So, but we don't know. We don't know who the legends are. They could be in the legends unboxing.
I mean,
it's not, but it could be.
Do I want to confirm or deny if Mark Kerr is one of the legends? I'll leave that one. I'll leave that one just now.
I mean, we haven't touched on arguably the most famous 0102 legend going, which is Taribo West.
Ooh, the free. He was on a free, wasn't he?
He was a free agent.
Yeah,
and his stats were fantastic. But you'd be delighted with him, but I think you'd be very angry with him at 60 million in this draft.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Stay tuned until the end to see who's very angry. I mean, no.
Imagine if you draft Taribo West at 60 million, and then the draft pool's finished, and you get 60 million back, and you're going, what are we going to do with that? It's like a double pullback and reveal.
Why is Mal dressed as a Christmas tree? Well, because it's coming up on Christmas Hammer, obviously. And this is the Christmas draft, so there we go.
McTominay
from Draconis. I mean, Draconis is just continuing.
Or was that Draconis? I thought that was the McKinns.
No, McKinn's grabbed Koulibaly, Kalidou Koulibaly. I quite like
McKinn's
him.
Very quick on that pick.
Yeah, he was. He was very quick on that pick. I mean, what do you think of Koulibaly? He's got very good sort of physicals and technicals, but his mentals are a little bit lacking. Rich, what are you thinking?
I think exactly that. I think physically he's an absolute monster. But as you quite rightly said, his mental stats do let him down a little bit. So
is that a risk you would take?
For me, no. I think there are better, kind of more budget options in terms of centre backs who will do as good of a job, but are a little bit there more in terms of their mental stats, which I think would make up for the lack of some of the physicals.
Yeah. I think I fully agree. I mean, can we click on him just now?
Just as a quick one,
Ronaldo's
went
gone.
for Ronaldo. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Okay, so picks are coming in quick and fast. Robin Goosens has gone to DJ and ATB. Centre back Bastoni to Amiga Luke. Cam has picked Cristiano Ronaldo, as you said there, Jack. Thank you. Lucas Digne has gone to Pumpster. We've got Vilrak picking Spinazzola, and we've got Kessie being picked by Hood Gaming. Not bad. I finally got a Ronaldo pick then. So Cam's decided he had the money left over. And can we click on Calendar? Yeah. I mean, Composure 10, Concentration 8. I'm not sure about that one. Everything else is brilliant, but he's gonna let them. But in draft mode, where I feel everything kind of feels like it's turned up to 11 because you've got human tactic versus a human tactic rather than the AI. You're gonna have problems with that, aren't you, Jack?
Oh yeah, of course. Killer. It's just how you set up and how you use the players.
Mm.
It's literally it, and how your tactic comes up against somebody else's tactic. And as I said, it's hard. It's not an easy skill. Drafts are incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about him in a 3?
Would you play him as the sort of cover in a 3 maybe?
Possibly, but I'm thinking someone might go a bit crazy and go with a wide centre back overlapping.
Maybe.
I'm thinking because you never. There's always a crazy. There's always a crazy. It's usually me. It's usually you, Mallidon, but it's usually one of us, right? But in a 3, he's not. He's for me not in a 2, not in a 2. But if he's in a 2 centre backs as part of a 3, he's not bad. But there's certainly cheaper and better.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know who would be very good as the wide centre back? Be Mr. Paolo Maldini. What do we look at him?
Oof.
Look at him as a wide centre back. I noticed that because obviously, I mean, he can basically play everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he could probably he's right footed, so he can cover the right back. He could probably do any role you want. But yeah, wide centre back. He could do that.
Yeah.
Yep. Indeed,
Definitely.
And he'd look beautiful doing it as well.
he would look absolutely marvellous. Let's see who's been getting picked then. Benjamin Pavard goes to Vilrac. He's picked a fellow Frenchman. Nice.
Good pick.
Valverde, that is a very good pick from Pumpster. I love Valverde on this in draft mode. Cam has gone for Alphonso Davies just to please Scooter. Amiga Lake's got Thomas Lamar. Tarek Lamptey to DJ in ATB. And Joe Gomez to Draconis Ursus. And then Rabiot. Rabiot's gone to
There's
Owen.
a bit of shout in the ATB's chat leading up to Lamptey. And I think the RDF Tactics is in there.
Okay.
Asking about and saying Hakimi. But obviously Hakimi'd already gone. So it was then a quick scramble of, right, who's got abilities like Hakimi? And Lamptey with that acceleration, he's got to be on your shortlist. His crossing's a question. It's questionable.
Yeah.
So it suggests he's going to play with wing backs rather than a standard fullback. I like Lamptey, but in draft mode, he's risky. In main game, I like him because you can develop him. But yeah, it's just all about the pace. All about the pace for him in draft mode.
Yeah. Are you a pace picker then, Tony? Is that
following my incredibly bad debut where I had no pace? I went the opposite on my second draft and went with all pace, and then third draft I sent Rich Owens in as a ringer. So
that is very true. That is very true. If anybody missed that, Mr. Rich Owens here came in at the last second. Tony had picked picked the team. There was a bit of a nightmare going on for Mr. Tony, and Rich stepped in like the hero he is, put his cape on, and went, "I'll do it, Gaffer." Stepped in. So, how was that experience? What was that like, Rich? Because I don't think we got a chance to speak to you. How was that coming in? Like somebody else's team. Would you recommend it? Like, is somebody going to be sitting here today going, I'm not turning up tomorrow, and are you going to jump in for them? would you do it again?
I'd do it again, but it's an incredibly different experience doing it with somebody else's squad compared to one that you've drafted yourself. Comparing the experience of doing the Summer Cup with Sai last FM cycle to doing the playoffs with Tony's team. I think the way that Tony had it set up to play and the way that I ended up playing with the team were very, very different. But it was a great experience. It was a great experience because it's you have to think on your feet quickly. You know, you've got to. There's not going through the drafting process, which I think is where you form your ideas of what you want to do. Obviously, you go into it with the shortlist with players that you want to build the team around. If you can't get them, you have to reassess your tactics. The absolute farthest step from that is just walking somebody saying, right, here's your team. have a go. And by the way, you're going to be on the actual playoffs, which is an experience in itself.
It's one you did okay. You didn't get nil points, so
No,
at least there was that. You know.
They call me Richie Two Draws.
And
Hey,
again, it's like in real life, manager gets sacked, you walk in, you've not got long till the transfer window, you got to play where it lies, and I thought you did a sterling job, mate. Well impressed.
We shout in the chat as well. Hello, everybody who's joining in. By the way, thank you everybody who's dropping by. How are we doing? Phil Jones would be better, Ryan has said. I think that's the Kalidou Koulibaly. Joe Linton would be better as well, as another shout from Maltese. I agree. It would be cool if the overlay. Hammer, this is kind of like a bit of a tester. We do actually have another screen that's got the names on. Unfortunately, we realised very late on that the names were not on this one. So perhaps next time, when it's far more professional and I'm not hosting, and I'm not in charge, maybe, it'll be much better, honestly. But yeah, let's just go through the picks that we've missed. So João Palhinha has gone to Ali. That is... I really rate that pick. Joe Matip to Sai. We've got Adrian Rabiot. We saw that one. Stick has gone for... Who has he gone for?
He's gone
Tomori,
for
another defender.
And De Bruyne.
And De Bruyne. He's got De Bruyne. I wondered if De Bruyne was going to go, because he's a lot of money. But then Stick's been picking a lot of defenders. So he's obviously got money left to go for that sort of player. And then Nicholas Sula to Ali. And Thomas Suchek to Sai.
Suchek's an interesting pick there from Sai.
Oh, and Ederson just goes to McKinn's. Ederson picking up a world-class keeper, as it says there.
Owen picked up John Stones in between the Sai and the McKinn's pick.
Okay, I missed that one. Thank you.
But it's interesting. Yeah, Stick's drafting tactic has been very interesting. Obviously, I suppose you have to prepare differently, knowing that your last pick. But he hasn't gone with any legends when he had a chance to.
He definitely did, yeah.
Sane, Zuma, Hakimi, top 3. So he missed out on a chance to get Mbappe, Ronaldo, Messi. So there's a reason behind why he decided not to do that. Because, again, the option was there. And I still think, a Zuma would have dropped. Hakimi, maybe not. I kind of like that one. But, maybe a Zuma.
Do you think, Jack, because he's drafting last, that he's just literally stuck to his shortlist and he's not been swayed by the fact that there are players still available by the time he comes around, and he's not went, well, actually, I know the players I've got on my shortlist here will do the job. I haven't budgeted for a Ronaldo and Mbappe. I'm expecting to be picking 10th, and he's just got stuck to his guns and went, I know the shortlist. Is that a possible?
Of course, it's a possibility. But at the same time, you think, when I'm drafting, if someone who's best available, sometimes you just got to go best available. Normally, you go best available towards the end of your draft picture. Like, who is the best available in a position that I need? At that point, I would have gone, okay, from my top 3, who do I expect from who's been picked? You've got to keep an eye out on who's also been picked, right? So you think, okay, he's taken a midfielder, he's taken this person. So therefore, I think I can take this person now, who I didn't think I was going to get, and I think this person will drop. So it's kind of an evolving game, drafting. It's never just, okay, this is my shortlist, I'm going to stick to my shortlist, because things change. People pick strangely in a draft mode. It doesn't go the way you go. You expect it to go, and then you have to change on the fly, and make the adjustments that way. And so I think sticking to a shortlist is a kind of, you're keeping your doors shut in that sense, rather than playing the game. Think about who's going. Can I get a bargain? Can I get a steal? Can I take this player now and work on from there? As Ryan Giggs goes to Pumpster.
Yeah, Ryan Giggs. Pumpster has decided, you know what? Terrible human being, but he's pretty good in the game, isn't he? So
Curtie does not like this. Curtie will be angry about that.
I mean, yeah, Curtie's a lad with morals, and
I think this is the end of the Curtie Pumpster relationship. I'm just calling it now. It's a heel turn for Pumpster.
I think that's a firing right there. That is it. He's gone. A couple of other ones to catch up on. Draconis has picked Rafinha, Paulo Dybala for DJ Nathan, Jordan Henderson for Luke, JWP James Ward-Prowse has gone to Cam. I'm surprised he was still floating about. Often he goes because it's like, free kicks. 101st pick. That's quite late for me, actually. And then Ryan Giggs. We've seen all the legends have been picked, including the random legends now. So yeah, did we expect to see that? I mean, like whenever I was asking, did we expect to see Ryan Giggs go? Rich kept shaking his head most. Rich, what are we thinking about Pumpster and the Giggs pick?
It's for me, Ryan Giggs is more of a punt than one of the £60 million legends. Because I just don't see what for that money. I don't see what he brings to the table over players that are left in the pool that can play in that role better. Because if you look at, I was looking at Ryan Giggs' stats earlier, and his physical stats are very, very, very good. He's got some strong mental stats, but what lets him down is his technicals. Like, his finishing is poor, his crossing's not great, his passing's not great. For £70 million, I would expect a lot more.
I mean, he's got 14 crossing as well as a winger. I mean, it's fine, and he is with his physicals. He's going to get into positions, but is 14 crossing is that the killer, Tony?
Not for £70 million. You don't want to get someone 14 million. You could get someone with 14 crossing for 30, 40 million. Like, it's a lot of money to only work the ball in the box. Do you know what I mean? For me, when I draft my left side players, I love players like Rafinha. I've mentioned it before. Like, for me, he gives you more, and you're going to get it's half the price of Ryan Giggs. Like, even Giggs's pace isn't enough to justify £70 million, because the end product then isn't there. Like, that's 14 for crossing. It's like, if his pace was really good and his crossing was like 18, you're going, I can see why people are going to pick him. But if it's just for pace, then Sane went early doors. Sane's quick. Like, De Bruyne is a better pick for roughly the same amount of money. You might as well get. Someone's just said their hammer. You might as well just pick Adama Traore if you want him quick and no good. So do
that's
that.
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. He's in there. He's available too. Yeah.
I was going to play devil's advocate and say,
okay. I thought
Ryan Giggs' technique is 19. So therefore, even though he's got 14 crossing, will his technique effectively give him better crossing potentially? Because 19 technique is pretty good.
For me, I think 19 technique gives him better dribbling and gives him more chance of creating space. Again, I think, and if you're playing work the ball in the box, absolutely, that's worth it. That creates an extra bit of space, and if you have pass on to space as well, fantastic, a bit more movement. But again, technique-wise, are we looking technique and accuracy? I don't know. For me, I think 14 is still low for that amount of money. Personally, I would expect more.
Luke's just picked Tierney. Just going to say that. Nice little pick. Let's quickly catch up. We've got Saka going to Hood Gaming. He's also got Reece James. Paul Pogba was the 103rd pick going to his countryman Vilrak there, just after the Ryan Giggs pick. Ivan Perisic also to Vilrak. Carvajal, good pick to Pumpster. I like Carvajal, decent value. Frankie De Jong to Cam. It's getting a nice wee midfielder for. He's 55 million now though. He was a lot cheaper last FM. He's gone up in price by quite a bit. Kante goes to DJ Nathan. Kante was the 110th pick. And David Silva, 111th pick to Draconis. And then Dani Alves. Owens picked Dani Alves. Rich, would you?
Wow.
I mean...
Yeah. That's...
Look at him.
I mean, his stats aren't bad. He's a good utility right-sided player. He's it surprised me that he'd go this early. That's the kind of player that I can see when you're down to your last 3 or 4 picks. Let's start exploring the budget end of things.
It is Owen though. It is Owen. So Owen likes to do this, doesn't he, Jack? He goes in for.
Yeah, so let's have a look at Owen's picks. He's got Haaland, Donnarumma, he's got one legend, Mbappe, Saul, which I thought was a very interesting midfield pick considering the midfielders that were available at the time. He's got Maguire, Rabiot, Stones, and then he picks up with Daniel Alves. So, you could argue not the strongest team in the world. However, again, it depends on how Owen wants to use these players and what plan he's got up his sleeve.
The one time he's come in and unmuted us, just as we're picking on his pick there. The man knows winning. He says Daniel Alves knows winning. That is very true. And do you know what? I actually like him as a centre mid. If you play him if you get him in that midfield role, 16 passing, 15 vision, great work rate, great technique. He's not going to have to run about as much, and he's got the mentals for midfield. I would not play him as a winger, as a wide player. Sorry, not myself. I would have him in midfield.
He'd struggle in the gegenpress though if he were to play
He
that
would.
system.
He
With
would.
12 stamina, but apart from that, there's
he's got the
there's
option as
obviously,
well. He's
yeah.
got the option to do that. It is interesting. It is an interesting pick as well, though. Messi has gone to Sai. Lionel Messi.
Wow.
So let's have a look at Sai's team, because I feel like Sai's been sticking to like a Sai type plan, hasn't he, Tony?
Yeah.
What are we thinking of his team? He's got Zapata, Duvin Zapata, Sadio Mane, SMS, Jadon Sancho, Thomas Soucek, Lionel Messi, Trent, Andy Robertson, and Joe Matip.
What more can you say? Like he's literally he's put a video out this week of how do you do a draft. He's basically watched his video before he started drafting tonight. Like, this is drafting 101. He's getting the right picks in it. There's versatility there. There's players who are going to be able to hit the ground running. It gives him options in terms of his setup and his tactics. It allows him to be fluid. It feels like a very Sai team, but then you put Messi into the mix, and that's the bit that doesn't feel like a Sai pick for me personally. That feels a little bit like Messi's still about. I could maybe do something with that. And he's clocked it because we're in like later rounds. And that's really interesting for me. That's really interesting because it looks, as I say, it looks literally Sai by numbers and then Messi. I'm excited.
Do we feel that this could be what Jack was saying earlier? You've got to adapt to a draft, and maybe some of Sai's sort of more preferred picks are gone, or maybe he's going, actually some of my other picks aren't going to go, and Messi's there, and I think I can grab him in as well. Better get him in just now before like everybody else goes down to like no money and can't get him. Grab him in now and then get my other picks. Do we think this could be Sai adapting to the draft? Do we think?
I think very much so, mate. Yeah. Like Tony said, it's a very, very Sai Maggio draft. A lot of those players feel very deliberate. I think he's drafted incredibly well up to that point, and then exactly like Owen was. Exactly like. Sorry, I've had a complete moment. Exactly like Jack was saying. Looking around at what was left available, if he's got money in the budget, suddenly, well, why not? Why not throw it? Why not throw some money at somebody like Messi, who then I think he'll fit into a system. If you look at the other players that he's drafted, I think it's pretty clever on Sai's part. That
Sai's just put in the chat there. He had the budget. Why not? Sterling was going to play there originally.
Okay.
And
I kind of thought that, yeah. So I think Sterling went earlier on, so Sterling's kind of a Sai pick. So
yeah, and also
he's replaced him with
Draconius has
Messi.
just passed.
Yeah, I've just noticed that.
We've missed a few picks, and Lewandowski has gone to McKinn's.
Oh, we're saving. We're saving. Has Draconius nipped down to get another carton of milk or anything? What's happening? Do we need to pause, or I don't know. Stick has he broken the? I don't know. I'm not sure. There is also, by the way, the Dani Alves pick. Chat is given some stuff here. Struggling with the gegenpress. He's got 14 teamwork, 20 determination, 17 aggression, and 16 bravery. Do you know what Regainer Wave is saying? Tony, you don't know what you're talking about.
I think it was me that said that, but I think the 12 stamina.
I think the stamina does let him down. Yeah.
The 12 stamina, because when I look at gegenpress and tactics, stamina is key. So when I pick I'm normally a big Leon Goretzka fan with these 18 stamina and something like that. So when I'm gegenpressing, for me, it's just all about stamina, making sure they can run. Yes, he's got those stats, but he's picked him at a stage where if he's picking him now, if you're going to say as a sub, then yeah, he's got the stats for it. He can do it coming on for the last half hour. At this stage, you're looking at potentially being in the first team. right? Because you try and get your first 11 in your first 11 picks, and then you go and try and look at your backups. It's very rare that you'd pick a backup before a first teamer. So I'm assuming that Alves might be used in that first 11. So then come that 75th minute, come that 80th minute, he might be starting to type. Yes, you could sub him off. That's a true statement. But it's just something that to be wary of.
Can I just say, so the squads are supposed to be 18 to 20 players, by the way. Draconis has decided to accidentally click the finish picking button. I think we may have to sort of... Is there a way we can sort of... Sai saved it. Yeah, Sai's just saved it right after.
Was it after that moment, though? That's the big question.
Yeah, I'm not sure. When did we save it? If it's after, then obviously it'll be too late. We might need a Moza admin role, coming in here and making a decision here, because I'm not sure what we're going to do here. Hood Gaming's taking a bit of time as well.
Should the draft? I don't know if Size paused the draft.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we pause the draft maybe and just have a check as to
he takes
what we
Jude
should
Bellingham,
do?
by the way. So Jude Bellingham. I've missed a few picks.
Yeah, I will go over the picks. What if we just decide what is happening first of all? So there's some drama with an FM draft.
We said Draconius's tactic was bold to go with mystery players, but then to not draft an entire, even a starting 11 is on paper it sounds madness, right? But it might just be perfect.
Rich, is he still your pick to win, Rich?
If anything, he's gone up in my estimations. Yeah, absolutely. This is
his tactic to go like, if I get a player sent off, the match gets abandoned. Like,
I think what will happen is once you finish picking, it will at the end it'll populate your players. Now this could be where me sitting in the draft really hurts Draconis, because if it populates my team first, it could steal some players from him. But
do you think therefore? Do you think he knows that then? So maybe he's just went, right, I tell you what, I just can't be arsed with this. Right, I've drafted 6 players. That's enough.
Yeah,
I'm just going to sack it off, and then they can auto pick, and then I'm sitting there going, oh, look at this team I've got. This is brilliant.
This could be the first ever, FM playoffs where we see a bonus transfer window after the drafting.
Yes. We got to set records somehow, right? New show, new rules.
Yeah. There is some chat in the FM playoffs admin chat just now, trying to figure out a plan as to what to do. It looks like Moza may be making a decision. I'm not involved. It's all Moza. If there's a controversial decision to be made, it's all Moza. Okay.
The draft is continuing, so the draft hasn't been paused, which is an interesting thing, because they could have paused it and made a decision.
I think what we're doing is we're carrying on. Yeah, we're going to carry on with the draft. So let's catch up on some of the picks that we missed while this was going on. So if we got any, we'll go over if we've got any really interesting. Aubameyang going to stick is quite interesting. I quite like that pick. Courtois has gone to stick as well. Jose Gaya to Ali. Anybody really interesting that's sticking out? Hakan Calhanoglu to Ogden.
Yep.
Cool. Lewandowski to McKinns. That.
Lewandowski and Lukaku up front for McKinns is a lot of firepower in it.
Do you know what? McKinns is now one of my favourites for this because Lewandowski and Lukaku, they are going to work excellently together. That is frightening. In fact, he's been allowed to get that with the 123rd pick.
It's mad, isn't it?
What is going on? But yeah, anything really interesting stepping out? Handanovic is decent for.
I've had a quick look at Nathy B's team, and he's very much building from the back forward. He's got a lot of defenders, and up front, he's quite light. He's got Immobile. Who else has he got? Sorry, I've just seen it there. But yeah, he's got 2 midfield as well, Gerrard and Kante. So he needs
Let's go and have a look.
A lot more going through. But defensively, he looks okay.
I'm just showing his team there just now. Yeah, I mean he's got Immobile and Dybala up front.
And Dybala, so that's the one. Yeah. So a decent enough partnership, especially in draft mode. It works quite nicely.
And he's got his random legends. I mean, that could be a striker. It could be a midfielder. It could be. I mean, it could be anything. It could be another Steven Gerrard. I mean, you know. It's not, but because he's already in there.
Could be
But you know what I
Gianluca
mean?
Vialli.
Wow.
Oh, Paul Onuachu. Ali has picked the man who scored the winning goals for him last time. And if anybody saw the playoffs last time out, Paul Onuachu, if I can say his name properly, let's just show his attributes. There you go.
Well, at what point does Ali go for Carroll as well? Because obviously that was his. He won without Andy Carroll. That was his big thing, wasn't it?
I mean, he picked Paul Onuachu instead of Andy Carroll. Honestly, probably a good shout because he's got 20 jumping reach.
Yeah. So
he's very good, isn't he?
But he's no Andy Carroll.
He's not Andy Carroll, indeed. I'm just going to double check if a full decision has been made. Mozza, is that the final decision then?
What, Draconis has been kicked out? That's mad. Fair play. I mean, he's stuck to it.
No. If Mozza could maybe just confirm in the chat for me that we're going to go with Plan A, which is what the admin chat has suggested, just so we can update everybody.
It's the FIA stewards here.
I know, no, it's we need a decision.
Pending investigation.
Yeah, it's being investigated currently. There could be a 10-second penalty on the go here. Watch out.
Can we do it like NFL? So Mozza comes as like the voice of God, like explaining his decision over.
I mean, we could actually.
The ruling on the draft mode stands.
Yes.
I could send Mozza an invite. I don't know if he'd be heard. I don't know. We could drag him in maybe, and be like, Mozza, would you like to come
down.
in and?
Yeah, exactly.
Repeat. Second down.
I don't know. He's not saying anything. I don't know what's going on.
I'm getting breaking news. What? Rich Owens takes over.
Yeah, Rich. In fact, never mind that. Rich has actually been subbed on as a player because we've not got enough players. Rich, get your kit on now. How do you feel about that? He's got his headphones off. He's no idea what's happening. Rich, you're playing for Draconis.
Couldn't be happier. He's drafted the exact players I would have drafted.
No, Rich. You
No. You're in the squad.
You're in his squad.
Yeah. He's not got enough players.
Oh, in which case, even better.
You're in goal.
Oh, fantastic! I've got a goalkeeper rating at least 2.
Ahead of Unai Simon.
Well, why not? I don't know. Let's just have a look. Has there been a decision? Mozza's just absolute silence, so that's fine. The FIA stewards have gone into silence mode.
Yeah.
As Sai has picked Malinovsky. He's very good at free kicks and corners.
The incident
and penalties.
will be investigated after the draft.
I think so. Yeah, we'll confirm just at the end what is exactly happening with it. Ali's gone for Esteban Andrada, his favourite goalie.
Yep.
His favourite goalie on FM. I mean, he's got 9 communication, so it's I mean, he can't talk much, but there we go. He's all right.
It's okay. Football is a universal language. That's if there's one thing press conferences have taught me.
The universal translator is out, and it's fine. It's all fine. Live long and prosper, everybody.
Just seen Luke, Omega Luke checking out Locatelli, which is a good pick. It might fit his team actually quite nicely. He sat on him for a while, so I think he's potentially in consideration.
Okay, nice.
The thing
is, he's got DMs up now. Milner, he's having a quick look at.
We're missing McKinsey's pick with Draconius's skips.
David Calabria is who McKinsey's picked there. Emerson for how we roll Owen. Ansu Fati for Nathy. £30 million. What do we think of Ansu Fati for £30 million?
Interesting.
He's okay. He's decent.
I think for me, he's if you're chasing a game, half an hour left, and you need some pace, I think he's got the potential to make a difference.
Lujo's got a look out of him on the showdown, didn't he? But
bit of a young Ryan Giggs.
For me, I think 30 million. I'm not sure.
What else have we got? We've got Riyad Mahrez for Pumpster. Cam has gone with Vinicius Jr. Jorginho, one of the Ballon d'Or runners-up this time for Amiga Look. We've got Karim Benzema for Vilrak. Vilrak's going very strong with the French connection. Not surprising considering he's French himself. So he's obviously like, yep, know these players. Ruben Dias and Emre Can goes for Hood's double pick. And Mr. Sissoko, which one? It's the centre midfielder one. That's the only one, isn't there? I'm thinking Mr. Dembele. Sorry.
Is that the one that's at Watford?
Watford, yeah.
Yeah.
Spurs legend.
Cam picks up Kasper Schmeichel. Let's have a little look at Vilrak's team because I'd be interested to have a look because he seems to be going quite French from what I've seen. So he's got Karim Benzema and Raul up front. I mean that. Do you know what? Actually, Benzema helping out Raul, not bad. Casemiro, Paul Pogba, Perisic, Kulusevski, and Mrs. Sissoko. Laporte, Bonucci, Spinazzola, Pavard, and Castagna. And Alisson. What are we thinking then, Rich? If this was the team you picked up instead of Tony's rubbish team that he sent you, would you be happy with this?
I would be very, very happy with this. It's got a lot of players. The midfield, especially. If there's one thing that I love, it's a good old-fashioned utility midfielder. You know, somebody that can play up and down the middle of the pitch. I don't think he's got those in spades. Players like Sissoko, Pogba, Casemiro, I absolutely love well-rounded midfielders like that. Raul and Benzema, that is a frightening front two for me as well. Rate them both very, very highly. And then, defensively again, solid. Bonucci and Laporte, that's a good centre-back pairing. Spinazzola's got his biscuit legs, which may be an issue moving forwards. But apart from that, that's good drafting. That's very good drafting. I'd take that.
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Benzema passing the ball to Raul because, I mean, you know, that to me, are we getting sort of Cristiano Ronaldo and Benzema vibes? Jack, what do we think? A little bit.
I like it, but I struggled to get something out of Benzema when I picked him. So it'd be interesting. And it's Benzema there is his best position as a deep lying forward. So it'd be really interesting to see how Benzema is used and the tactic that he's going to come up with because he's got three midfielders, central midfielders with two wingers there. As I said, it'd be interesting. I can't work out his tactic at the moment. You'd kind of want to play Benzema and Raul up front together.
Mm-hmm.
So are you maybe looking at a 4-2-4 or something like that? Potentially. But he's got three midfielders. So Sissoko maybe his first backup midfielder that he wants to get in. Because obviously I think we're now starting to get to the round 12. We're in round 14. So we're starting to pick up some of our backups. So it looks maybe like a 4-2-4. But it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Talking of backups, Amiga Leaks picked Wout Weghorst. He's a very good sort of target man. Mm-hmm. Kind of more of the sort of backup or second striker. So he's got him and Thierry Henry. It's very different sort of styles.
Give him the number 9. Him the number 9. Thierry Henry with the number 14. What a strike force that is.
Wout Weghorst ultras, mate.
Long ball up to Weghorst on target forward, and then he knocks the ball down to Henry. That's fair. That's goals. That's goals right there.
I mean, along with them, he's also got Mohamed Salah, Leon Goretzka, Thomas Lemar, Jordan Henderson, Ferran Torres, and Jorginho. They're going to be looking to feed those two.
It's fine, isn't it?
Not bad, isn't it?
It's a good midfield. It's a very good midfield. You've got a free diamond there, kind of one sitting, which could either be Jorginho or Henderson, whoever you prefer. Mm-hmm. And you've got Leon Goretzka as a box-to-box who can run up and down. And then you don't really have an attacking midfielder there. So you've got Jorginho and Henderson that do the same job. That's the only kind of thing I'd say is that Jorginho and Henderson kind of do the same job.
Mm-hmm.
And Goretzka, you probably want maybe one more to be slightly attacking. You could use Jorginho in more of an attacking or Henderson as more an attacking sense, but maybe you'd like someone different. But overall, as a defensive structure, in a defensive shape, that those three midfielders would do a good job.
And not a bad defence with Tierney, Bastoni, Pereira, and De Ligt. I mean, that's pretty solid as well, isn't it?
As a starting 11, it's decent, isn't it?
Yeah. Mike Mannion in goal. It's all looking good for Luke. Let's have a wee look, catch up on anything interesting. I mean, Ben Godfrey's gone to Ali. That's okay. Chesney's gone to Sai. Daley Blunt has gone to Owen, of course. I like Daley Blunt as a decent backup, but yeah, Dusan Tadic to McKinn's.
It might be a good time now just to start looking at how much money people have left.
Yeah, good point. We will do that. Anybody? Giovanni Reina. Okay, we're picking people like Giovanni Reina. Richarlison. McKinn's has got Richarlison now.
That is a McKinn's pick.
That is a very McKinn's pick, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves Richarlison, loves him to pieces as a striker, winger. He gets him goals. It works for him. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in FM22, because I think this is the first draft in FM22 that I will see McKinn's in anger and see if Richarlison is as profitable as he was for him in FM21.
Well, before we look at how much money people have got left and start paying attention to that, let's just have a quick look at McKinn's team. So we said earlier on, Lewandowski and Lukaku. I'm scared by that. I'm not even in the draft. I'm scared by that. He's also got Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Brozovic, Mason Mount, Tadic, and Richarlison now to help feed this frightening strike partnership. In defence, he's got kind of a bit of a rogues gallery for me. Koulibaly and Ramos probably going to get sent off all the time. David Alaba, Ben Chilwell, and Calabria. Calabria can do left and right. He's okay. And Ederson in goal. What do you think? What do you think of that one, Tony? What are we?
I think it's good. I think it's good, to be honest. I think he's his creative outlets, his strikers. I mean, they speak for themselves. To be honest, the midfield that's feeding it is very good as well. Like we're talking Sterling, we're talking Richarlison, we're talking Bernardo Silva. They're going to create chances. They're going to create openings for the front two. And I think defence is just literally a standard back four. I think he's gone with a flat back four and going, everyone else up front will be fine. 4-4-2, that's got written all over it. You're right, there is a red card in that defence in each match, and I'd be looking to get another player in as a bit of a backup. But I think he's got to be considered.
Just going to point out Alan McGregor has gone to Cam. Brilliant. Alan McGregor. Basuma, bit of a dodgy pick there from Nathy, but okay. Allegedly. Quickly just add in. So Cam's got 127 million. He's just picked Tarkovsky for 60 million. So he's still got over 100 million. Looks like Cam might be the rich person here. Because Amiga Luke's got 46 million. DJ ATB's got 24. Any other shouts? Who's looking the most moneyed up person just now? From are you guys in any of the streams having a wee look? Who's Tony looking at?
Well, Draconius has got 271 million left.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
So his last couple of picks are going to be amazing. He's bought Pele. Can you believe it? It looks like Ali's got 123 million left.
Okay.
Which is quite a lot still.
I'm being told to behave myself by Nathan. I mean, allegedly, Basuma, allegedly. Quickly, throw in some allegedlys.
Size currently sat on 42 million. So.
News on the Draconis Ursa front. So, we know his budget. It's £271 million. What we're going to do is he is going to be able to pick any unpicked players once the draft is finished. Stick has suggested that in chat as well. I think there was a couple of suggestions in the admin chat. That has basically come up as the best thing to do. So what he can do is we will give him the save file, I believe. And he's going to be able to pick some players from that, pick his squad. Or he can let Mozza pick for him. So,
well, he's rolled the dice enough today. Why not roll the dice and let Mozza pick?
I mean, it's up to Draconis, I guess. Does he let Mozza pick the rest of his team, or does he go for it himself, get the file, and have a faff about him? pick
I think I
leftovers.
want to commentate on Draconis' first match tomorrow because I don't think he's going to turn up. I think he's going to let his mam draft or something and play for him or something. Just like, I can't be arsed.
Yeah. Owen's got 114 million, by the way. Just
Which doesn't
like that.
surprise me after some of his picks. He has gone
True.
a bit, I suppose, slightly cheaper. Hasn't since his Haaland and Mbappe move. He hasn't really picked anyone overly priced. Although I think 32 million for Saul Niguez was a bit of a waste. But then he backed up with a Rabiot pick for 14 million, so that saves him a bit of money. But
right, so
I think it's quite interesting. So the screen that you're on there, Mal, you got the likes of Harry Kane, Joshua Kimmich, Bruno Fernandes.
I'm just going to
Son,
refresh it just to
not-
make sure.
Not been drafted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to.
Aguero.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the last time I'll mention him. When Punch picked Ryan Giggs, he could have had Heung-min Son for £3 million more.
Yeah.
Which just baffles me. Absolutely baffles me.
And it comes with a lot less baggage as well.
It does, to be fair. It does. Who did Owen finally pick there? Arturo Vidal. So he's still got nearly £100 million left. Coletta Cargo's to Sai. Sai very quick to the pick there. Soyuncu for McKinns.
Oh, Alexander Isaac. At this stage, Alexander Isaac has just gone to Ali.
How's he
Which
still
I think-
sat there unpicked?
Which I think is brilliant because I've played with him on this draft mode as well, and he's just as good as he was on FM21. So I know he's 28.5 million, but even at 28.5 million, it's a steal.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Yeah, especially when you think that
have we
Fatty's 30 million. I know they're not like for like players, but I think most people have seen a lot of success with Isaac.
Yeah.
And for that money, that's value, really, isn't it?
I think he's a very surprising player in the draft because he's got the off the ball. He moves about quite well. He's got flair and he can jump and he can kind of finish a bit. He's like an all round kind of surprising package when he gets going. Definitely. Are we slagging Nathy off? Wait, no, we're not Nathy.
I don't think so.
Who did you pick? Ademola Lookman? No, we didn't even mention Ademola Lookman.
I think it's for the Fatty pick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Let's have a look at DJ. Do you know what? While Nathy's here, let's go and have a look at his squad.
His team's all right, to be honest.
I mean, he's got Onana, he's got Koundé, Lamptey, Gosens. I really like him. De Vries and Random Legend. Love to see who that is. Lookman, Bissouma, Marco Reus, Fati, Rafinha, Kante, and Gerrard. And he's got Dybala and Immobile up front. It's not a bad team. I would say it's not the midfield I would pick. What would you say, Jack, to that midfield?
Yeah, Bissouma's all right. There's nothing wrong with Bissouma. Gerrard's good, obviously. So Gerrard, if I was to pick this midfield, I don't know who Gerrard and Kante, but that's a two-man midfielder. And Kante and Bissouma again, very similar type player. I know Kante. I saw Bissouma there was a bit more. You can go a bit more attacking with Bissouma, but they're both ball-winning midfielders. So you'd have to play Bissouma. You'd assume in a different role, either box to box, but then I suppose you want to play Gerrard box to box. So it'd be interesting to see how he uses Bissouma. I think that's his midfield three.
Yeah.
Bissouma, Gerrard, and the other one has got out of my head now. Completely forgotten. Kante. Yeah.
Kante, yeah.
So I think that would be it's a solid midfield three. But it would be interesting to see how Bissouma is used.
Interesting.
Yeah, agreed. I think if you're going to play a midfield three, then instead of having Fatty, Isaac with Immobile and Dybala is a really strong front three.
Big signing news. Owen has decided to splash the cash. £62 million on Luis Suarez. Thoughts, Rich?
I love Luis Suarez. I think he's. Looking at those stats. I think for £62 million, maybe depending on what was left in the pool, you could have gone. Again, it's just the physicals that let him down ever so slightly. But if you want, a deep line forward, if you want somebody who's going to cause a threat at this stage in the draft, I think that's. Again, it almost feels quite deliberate, that signing for me. I think based on what's left, I think there might have been different options. But adding him as backup to an Mbappe or a Haaland, Luis Suarez off the bench isn't a bad shout at all.
Do we think having Mbappe and Haaland and Suarez in the same squad is it a bit too much, Tony? What are we thinking?
You can never have too many strikers. I genuinely because like, look, I mean, Haaland we know, right, can blow hot and cold.
Mm-hmm.
Suarez is pretty good and pretty reliable. I think, I don't think you can have enough strikers. And if the game's tight and you're needing a bit of something else, bringing a player like, for example, if Suarez isn't going to be a starter, bringing him off the bench allows you a bit more option rather than bringing up another striker who's maybe like 20, 30 million quid or whatever. You'd feel more confident bringing a Suarez on to change the game. So, I think you can never have too many strikers. Particularly from what I've noticed, draft mode is go attacking rather than go defensive. And again, I've fallen foul of that in the past before. Maybe being a little bit too defensive. So I think you can't have enough attacking options personally.
Do you agree with that, Jack? £62 million for a sub. What do you think?
Well, unless he's going 4-3-3,
Maybe.
and win an old school 4-3-3. Because I just had a look at his team there while Tony was talking. Hurling, Mbappe, and Suarez up front, which is doable. You could play Hurling as a deep lying forward, and you could keep Mbappe as an advanced forward, and you can keep Suarez as a deep lying forward. You've got a Rabiot and Saul that can play in central mid, Vidal as well as Kalagoglu, who could also play in midfield. So you could go flat midfield there because he's picked as well. Reina, Michael Brighton could do a slight job. It looks like they're in midfield as well. So, and then you've got your John Stones, Emerson, Alves, Harry Maguire. Maybe he's banking on that random legend to be any position at the precise moment. I think he's in a position where that random legend could be a defender, could be a midfielder, or could be a striker, and he's happy with whatever he gets because it might add. I think if he was to pick one now, he would like a midfielder, a centre midfielder, or either a winger if he does want wingers. But I think a centre midfielder as that random legend 4 would suit Owen massively because they give them that potential to go 4-3-3. However, that does mean he needs to sign another striker just in case one of those goes down.
Yeah.
Good shout. And we might have just given away his tactic because he's just done ... in the chat, so he's not very... He's like, oh no, everybody knows now.
I mean, to be fair, Owen, you're sitting there with Haaland, Mbappe and Suarez going, I'm playing one up top. Are you really?
We're definitely going to talk about that when you pick those three. Definitely going to have a chat about it.
I think Owen's going strikerless. I've worked it out.
Any other very interesting bit? I mean, Rob Holding's just gone to Vilrak. That's always interesting to see a Rob Holding pick. $4.5 million. He's actually a bargain in this pool, to be honest. In draft mode in general, because he's just a good all rounder.
And a decent backup option, right? You don't want to spend. You want solid players as a backup option. You want players that you can count on to rely on to come in and do a job if need be, right? That don't cost you an arm and a leg. So therefore, you've got more money to splash out on, let's say, your starting 11, and then maybe one or two subs that you go like, you know what? If I bring this player on, I don't lose much value to my overall team. So then the rest, your left backs, your right backs, your spare centre back strikers and so forth. You're like, if I play you, you're not going to let me down. You'll still be able to do a job for me. So for 4.5 million, and you can find a player of that quality, then you're laughing.
I completely agree with all of that. He's very solid for $4.5 million. Cam's just picked John McGinn. That's one of the most Cam picks I've ever seen. So yeah, that's and Doucouré goes to Luke there. 15 million. So I mean, we're really getting to the end of the splashing the cash now. I mean, DJ and ATB is sitting on 11.75 million. So we're kind of getting to the point where you've got to buy the bargains now.
He looks like he's scrabbling as well, to be honest. He's trying to work out whether he goes for defensive cover or strike or forward cover. And he's looking at lots of options. So
it'd be interesting with 11 million left, and obviously there's no freebies. And this obviously 18 to 20 limit. Is this his last two picks? That's something else I'm considering here.
Yeah. Because it is, 18 to 20 players. He's got currently, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17.
Which would make sense now on round 17.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, to be fair, Jack, Draconius says hi. He's got 6.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just double checking, to be honest, Jack, because we don't know currently who's got what, because things have been going a bit wrong. I'm just double checking. They're all present and correct there,
Okay,
and they all seem to be.
Okay, so if you were Nath right now at this point, and you've got, for argument's sake, you've got 11 million quid, that's one pick in it, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Where do you put that pick right now? Do you add a defender, or do you trust that you've got enough up top to get by, looking at some of those midfielders maybe playing and helping out the forward line? What do you think? Where would you go?
I mean, for me, I'd be happy with these strikers. I would actually be happy just to have those two. But it depends on what formation he's playing. So, and Fatty can sort of cover, and Royce can sort of cover and help out. I would go for another midfielder, even though he's got more midfielders than anything else. What would you do, Rich?
See, for me, I'd be looking at somebody that can. I'd probably be looking, midfield, or maybe even some central defensive cover. Somebody that can, somebody like a Daley Blind that can play in the middle, that can play in the middle of like a back three, or
like an Emre Can sort of player who could maybe play centre half and midfield. Obviously, he's got that mystery box player, so that could be perfect for him.
I might just stop you there because he's just said in the chat, "Oh, I fucked it." So something's gone wrong. Pardon the French, but that is actually fucked is what he went with in the end. Yeah, so something's gone a bit wrong apparently, but we'll have to see what his last pick is then, just to see what has gone wrong there. Then interesting. Let's go and have a look at the reigning champions squad while he's just picked Mancini for the 219th pick. That's not a bad pick for that. So Isak, Onuachu and Jamie Vardy, Rodrigo de Paul, João Palhinha, Federico Chiesa, Luis Alberto and Jack Grealish, with Varane, random legend number 5, Nicolas Sula, Jose Gaya, Cancelo, Ben Godfrey, Denzel Dumfries and Mancini, and Andrada in goal. What are we thinking there, Jack? Or Tony? Tony, you want to jump in? I don't know.
No, I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead, Jack.
Just
go
see
ahead.
what Nathan's done. So.
Oh, okay.
I think he's backing his legend to be a forward player. He has a lot of defenders, and he doesn't really have many strikers. He's only got 2 strikers. So at this precise moment, I'd be thinking of getting in another striker, just in case your random legend isn't a striker. If I look at midfield again, there isn't much in terms of. There's maybe 3 players, 4. Okay, they can all play central midfield, but like there isn't I don't know. There isn't enough for me to say that there's some pure centre mids, pure defensive type mid players in that system. There is obviously he's got one, but like if he goes down, who are you going to play there? So I think he might be gambling slightly on his legend, and he's gone very defense heavy. So he doesn't need his legend to be a defender. And I just was having a thought in my head. We've seen a lot of attackers and a lot of midfielders. We had one defender in that first 6. So I'm interested to find out if I was now a man who was in this draft. I'm thinking, okay, could these legends be more defender based because we've already seen a few attackers, we've already seen 1 or 2 midfielders. We haven't seen many defenders, and there are many legend defenders. Roberto Carlos, I tell you what, wouldn't mind seeing him.
Yeah, if you pull Jonathan Woodgate out at this point, then it's like, I mean, to be fair, it looks very much like a narrow 4-3-3 or a diamond where you're looking with wing backs. There's no width really. I think, and you're right. I think you completely sum it up there, Jack. We're all presuming that the random legends are forward players. Could even be Peter Schmeichel. We've not even considered it could be a goalkeeper sat there going, I've got this brilliant unboxed player. Turns out it's a goalkeeper. What if you already got 2 goalkeepers? Some guys have got 2 goalkeepers. You sat there now with an extra one. And yeah, I think that looks like a very, very narrow team for Ali. But hey, you know what? He did it on his debut, so give the guy some respect, I suppose.
I'm just having a look at Pumps. He's just jumped into the chat saying, "How's it going?" So I thought we'd bring up his team. What are we thinking of that then, Rich?
Looking at Pumpster's team there, I mean, he's gone Burkamp, hasn't he? So he's gone Burkamp and Giggs. So it's very bold choices from Pumpster there. Obviously, Fabinho first pick as well. It feels like a long time ago, but Fabinho first pick, like we said at the time, it felt very, very deliberate. Defensively, I think it looks quite strong. I think I massively rate Akanji. I think Rudiger as well. That's a solid centre-back pairing. Tagliafico, Lucadinha, Carvajal, those solid enough wide players. Again, he's got the random legend. Looking at that squad, I'm assuming he's crossing his fingers and hoping striker. But as obviously Tony and Jack were just saying, it could be, if it's defensive player, he might find himself a little bit light up top if he progresses through the tournament. I think he could start to struggle. Greenwood and Burkamp, for me, that isn't necessarily the strongest striker partnership that we've seen. Or
No.
I wanted to throw a point here out to you guys. Mm-hmm. This screams to me as strikerless.
Ooh. Do you think Pumpster's going strikerless?
Well, because of that lack of up top, and maybe Greenwood. Now, I like Greenwood. Don't get me wrong. I like Greenwood. Right?
He's added Iheanacho and Rashford very, very recently.
Which could still scream strikerless to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which could still scream strikerless. And then if he needs to go with a striker, then Greenwood, Iheanacho, even Burkamp, right? You can chuck up there, right? But it just screams Pulisic, Rashford, Mahrez, Giggs, Burkamp.
Yeah,
they're strikerless players.
Ooh.
It's a good shout. It's a really good shout. And as you say, are those last couple of striker picks just little smoke screens to go, oh yeah, I've got some strikers, but also they're options as well because they've got pace.
Yeah.
So if you're going to play essentially with, say for example, you play one up top and you play with runners around, then those players can drift out wide and still get in and hurt you. So it's balanced. It's a balanced squad. Those last couple of picks have maybe changed it slightly, but yeah, it's. I think there's some good squads. There's a lot of squads that have got balance, and then there's some ones that just seem like there's a couple of panic picks in the squads. Speaking of which, DJ Nathy B, Jordan Amavi was his last pick. By the way, he had a choice for a left back.
Okay,
Jordan Amavi.
I mean, I was about to bring up the fact that he'd signed Troy Deeney, but he's brought in. So he's got Jordan Amavi, and he's just also added Johan Berg Gudmundsson as well. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him picked in a draft. But there we go.
I mean, I love you, Nath, but Zinchenko, the chat was shouting for Zinchenko, and he clicked Jordan Amavi. It's easy to get those two mixed up.
I mean, do you know what? I mean, how many times have you mixed up Jordan Amavi and Zinchenko then, Tony? I mean...
So mate, you wouldn't believe how many.
Constantly.
Every couple of minutes, yeah. I think we're winding down to... Al Soma, actually. Have we looked at Ali's team? I can't remember. I don't think we've looked at the reigning champions.
We did.
Oh, we did.
Looked at it, yeah.
Yeah, we did, actually, yeah. Omar Al Soma joins them.
What's Volrak up to? How's his side looking at this point?
Let's have a look at Volrak.
It was quite French heavy last time.
He's got Luc de Jong. He signed Luc de Jong since we last looked. Remco Pasveer, okay goalkeeper, back up. He brought in that Rob Holding signing, as we were chatting about. I mean, he's stayed very solid all round. Bas Dost, I'm not a big fan of because he's a poacher with no pace. Honestly, he's the strangest player in the world. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess do we think last couple of minutes type of player
for a set play, lob the ball up to him?
Maybe
a bit of confusion in the box.
Maybe. And Luc de Jong as well. Kind of similar, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. They do feel like that's plan C.
Do you know
chasing a goal, stick it in the mixer, 20 minutes to go, hope for the best.
But it's good to have a plan B and C. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, so
yeah.
and if it is something a bit different, and if it is like you have to go long and you have to get balls up top and get players to hold the ball up, even if maybe you're looking to hold a lead, they're players who can hold the ball up at the top end of the pitch, and time waste rather than like a little diminutive striker. So yeah, could be smart.
Talking of strikerless and things like that, Stick played a lot of strikerless last FM. Don't think he's done it much this FM because it's not as good. We haven't really paid too much attention to his team. So he's got Courtois, picking out from his defence highlights like Hernandez, Pau Torres, Hakimi, and Zuma. We did chat about them. His midfield is a little bit. I mean, he's got the De Bruyne and he's got the Sané, he's got Aubameyang. Kondogbia is good as well. I think the rest is a little bit underwhelming. I mean, Rodri's decent, but I mean, he's got a few backup options in there as well. And then up front, he's got Lautaro Martinez. Do we think we're looking at strikerless, Jack?
I think we're looking at an early exit. And I'm sorry,
And he deserves
Stick.
that for playing strikerless.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, Stick. And I got so much respect for the man, but I'm so I don't know.
Oh.
I'm looking at this team and I'm like, nothing is grabbing me. Yes, it could be. I don't think it's strikerless. I don't. I think it is. Martinez will probably start up front with Sane, Aubameyang on the wing, potentially De Bruyne, probably as a Mazzala with Kondogbia, and maybe Rodri in behind, and then Chuck Wheezy to me, and Diddy, Joe Willock. They look like backups. So. He's gone with Christopher Ayer, so straight away, well done.
Yeah.
You've gone for Christopher Ayer. Anytime you pick a Brentford player, you get plus bonus points with me. So immediately your draft stock's gone up. But I don't know. I feel for him a little bit. I feel like he's. I know he was 12 pick. I know it was a challenge. But unfortunately, I think I have to go back to those early picks when Mbappe was still on the table. Like Lautaro Martinez, you could have picked Mbappe. You could have picked someone earlier. And I think he went too conservative at the beginning. And I think that has cost him.
It's a good shout. It's a really good shout, actually.
I'm being badgered about the wheel, and now we are going to be heading into doing the wheel at the very end. So once the final picks are confirmed, we will be drawing the random legends, and we will be revealing who the random legends are. So, if people are picking the end of their squads and they want to see who they've got, they might need to drop into the stream. Just saying. So, currently we've got Draconis has got pick number 1 and 6. Pumpster has number 2. Nathie is number 3. Owen's got number 4, and Ali's got number 5. So that are the ones that will be probably looking to find out what's going on. It looks like we're saving. Have we finished the draft then? I think we've finished.
Now,
So this could be up to me then to do the next bit.
Oh dear! Here comes Nigel.
I mean, this is where it's all going to go wrong. 100%.
Jeff Hurst. What?
yeah.
Because
This is the interesting thing now, because these lot gambled, right? And now
Yeah.
some people were probably thinking, do I gamble? Do I gamble? Who didn't gamble? And now they're probably tuning into the stream right now to find out if their gamble paid off or if they went,
Owen's
maybe I should have
already
spent the 60 million.
Owen's already in the chat.
Yeah.
Going, please, not a striker.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you folks. I don't think we expected this to happen. I don't think we expected us to have to do this. So I'm just going to have to do this on the fly. Mozza didn't send me any players.
Ooh.
So honestly, I
Niall
don't think we
Quinn.
expected this to
Niall
happen.
Quinn.
So
Do we get
Right.
to pick the
what
players?
am I going to do here? I'm just going to start putting names in.
I think we need an FIA steward investigation.
No,
Mel.
no,
Okay.
I'm just going to go. Do you know what? I'm going to go. Ogden's here, isn't he? So we're going to go Roy Keane.
Yes,
Roy
Blomqvist.
No, we're not having Jesper.
Real
we're going to
Ferdinand?
go Roy Keane. We've. Do you know what? You mentioned Roberto Carlos. I don't
I
like
think
Roberto
that's a good.
Carlos.
I think
I
that's a
think we're
good
going to
shout.
go Cafu instead.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah, we're going to go Cafu. Who
I
else do I
fancy
think
some
we're going to
Roberto
go?
Carlos free kicks, to be honest.
Yeah, that would be good actually. I like Carlos as a shout.
No.
Mal's in charge here.
What?
We're mere mortals in this. We have no decision.
What
It's whoever
is-
comes to Mal's head.
Rich, what is your favourite Star Trek film?
That's
Rich?
that's a very, very deep question.
Yeah. Is it
Probably
Wrath of?
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have Khan then.
Oliver Kahn, the
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
yeah. We'll have Oliver Khan.
That's a good shout.
And you know what? While I'm figuring out what we're doing, we're going to put Figo in.
Ooh, okay.
We need two more, don't we? Oh, who do
Kaka.
we have? No, Kaka's Kaka.
Chef- No, Shevchenko's a bit
Do,
early, innit?
do you know
Shevchenko.
do you know who's better than Kaka?
Barry Bannon.
Rob Lee,
Roberto Ayala,
Henrik Larsson. That's a good shout.
Henrik
Zidane,
Larsson. What's
Baggio.
chat saying? What's chat saying? I'm just going rogue here. Like,
Gaza,
Zidane.
Andy Cole,
JJ
Vidic.
Okocha, which was my shout.
Gaza has been shouted.
I've
Do you know
I've
what?
seen Taribo West in there a couple of times.
Sol
as well.
Campbell is a shout as well.
Mm,
Ledley King.
Tony Adams.
do you know who we're going?
I don't care, Mal's like, I don't care what you put in the chat.
We're going
Riquelme.
Riquelme. We're going Riquelme.
I told you.
So, yeah, Oliver Kahn, Luis Figo, Roberto Ayala, Jean-Roman Riquelme, Roy Keane and Cafu. Moz is just going to
Now-
have to make them. He hasn't
Right.
given me any direction, so tough.
Before we spin the wheel, for spending
Yep.
60 million, how do you think these players are now feeling with these?
I don't know.
With these players.
What do we think? What do we think? Anybody who spent 60 million, what do we think of what I've just done?
I think Owen is rubbing his hands with glee because he could fit those players in anywhere in his squad. He's already got the top three, the front three, so he's not going, all right, I'm going to be overloaded with strikers. This
They're
plays really
all
well for Owen,
livid.
actually.
They're all livid with no striker, but it's too late now. I've put them in.
How's our boy Draconis feeling about this? That's the real question.
He's got two
Yeah,
of them. Remember this.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that is true. That is true. So, what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to double check. So, what was number one? Number one was Draconis.
Okay, yeah, it was.
Are we ready for Draconis' first pick?
And he was number 2 as well. I don't know what number he was.
No, he wasn't. No.
Owen's asking, what can he
Draconis-
do with Oliver Kahn?
Well,
Save goals.
yeah.
Clearly.
Who's
Goalkeepers
who's
get
only
you
picked
points.
one goalie? Right.
He's got Donnarumma, that's the issue.
Draconis' first player, random player, number one.
Picked by
It's
Mal. sponsored by Mal.
Roberto Ayala.
How do we?
Just
I
gonna-
don't know how to,
just
I
gonna
don't know how
put
to
this
feel
in.
about that.
Roberto Ayala.
That's gone quite quiet, hasn't it? Just
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
It's been underwhelming.
Well, there we go.
All right, new rule. Draconis gets all these players.
We've got Pumpster is pick number 2. Pumpster's really excited for no striker, isn't he? So let's get him Oliver Kahn, hopefully.
Yeah.
Why do people put me in charge of this? Honestly. Ooh! That's going to look rigged now. That is so going to look rigged, but it's Oliver Kahn. It's not rigged, by the way.
That works for strikerless. That absolutely works for
Yeah,
strikerless.
very much so.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Good luck. Good luck with Oliver Kahn for strikerless. So, pick number 3, I believe, is Nathy. DJ Nathy B is pick number 3. So let's.
I think
Who put me in
Figo or
charge of this?
Riquelme would look good in his team
Yeah. Cafu's looking good for me.
because he's got Gerrard and he's got Kante. Get him a little bit. Get him someone behind the strikers.
Okay.
For Owen, Roy Keane's still available.
Oh, Figo!
With
bad.
That is so loud, probably, but
with Immobile and Dybala up front.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just
that's
changed it.
looking-
That's
looking
just changed
tasty.
it.
That's looking tasty. Well, there we go. Pick number 4 was How We Roll Owen. Owen, I know Owen's in the chat. How excited are we for Roy Keane? Imagine if he doesn't get Roy Keane now.
He's got a 33% chance.
I mean,
also got a
here we go.
66% chance of not getting Roy Keane.
I will take my spuds and go home with Keane. Well, let's hope you get Keane. It's either Keane, Cafu, or Riquelme. Good luck. Fingers crossed for you. It's ruined.
Ooh.
Sorry, Owen.
But he says there Riquelme is an enganche with Mbappe, Suarez, and Haaland up top.
Yeah.
It could have gone worse.
Yeah.
We've only got two left. It's Cafu and Roy Keane. And the final two picks, we've got Ali. Ali's number 5. So Ali's going to get Roy Keane or Cafu. And then Draconis is number 6. So Draconis is going to get the final one, whoever's left. So
I think you're happy with these two for 60 million. You feel like money well spent at this point.
Yeah, these are both pretty good. I can't believe Ayala came out first. That's mad.
Especially Draconis.
Well, what is it? What's he got? He's got Cafu. Ali's got Cafu. Well done, Ali.
Hmm.
And Draconis gets Roy Keane.
Keane.
Let's just spin it just to make sure. You know, because you never know. You never know. It might come up with somebody else. Like Reggie Quattro might just suddenly.
It goes on that white line, and it just means a void turn.
To West.
Reggie Blinker. Well done.
Yes.
Hey, it's Paolo Di Canio. Well done. I think didn't Celtic swap Paolo Di Canio for Reggie Blinker? That's just terrible. Anyway, there we go. So there's your final picks, everybody. Are we all happy? How happy are you with your random legends? Out of 10, everybody.
I think Pumpster's 10 out of 10, surely.
Pumpster's not happy in chat. But it's a good goalkeeper. I don't know. Who is Pumpster's goalkeeper? I lost the trick.
He's got Donnarumma. That's the problem.
Shall we go in and see who Pumpster's keeper... Did he pick Donnarumma? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't.
No, Owen has Donnarumma.
Oh, sorry.
Handanovic and Farnes. Do you know what? That's a great upgrade.
I think Khan's better than both, right?
Yeah. Mm. Oh, I mean, Khan is going to be wonderful in that team. So, yeah, well done, Pumpster. He wants a recount, but I think that's going to be fine. So, yeah, just to run through that, in case you missed it, Roberto Ayala and Roy Keane goes to Draconis Ursa, who is going to be given the pool as it stands and will be allowed £271 million to spend to complete his team, or he lets Moza pick. Draconis, let us know. I'm sure Moz is probably having a chat and figuring that one out.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, the advantage for him is he now knows who his legends are, so he gets that slight advantage there of knowing, okay, I've got these two players and that will help him shape, which obviously the other competitors didn't have that advantage. But he's got that advantage of knowing his two legends and how he can build his team around that.
But there is a lot.
He does have the massive disadvantage. Yeah, that massive disadvantage of everything else is gone to poo though.
He's got Harry Kane. He's got Joshua Kimmich. Who wants to go there.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the players left, like we're still in here. Looking at the players left, he's got Bruno Fernandes. He's got Son. He's got Aguero. He's got there's some good players in here. Tony Cruz is still sitting around there. Calvin Phillips, Jan Oblak. I mean, Ter Stegen. There's some good players left. So there you go. Unless they all go to Team Blobby, but I will be stealing them. But yeah, so Oliver Kahn.
What happens if Draconis wins? There's going to be a riot, isn't there?
Probably. I mean, there's going to be a riot with how I picked the legends. So
if Draconis wins, it means that Rich was right. So I'm all for it.
But yeah, Oliver Kahn has gone to Pumpster, Lewis Figo to DJ and ATB, who I'm sure is delighted with that. Riquelme to Ogden, and Cafu to Ali. So we'll be forwarding that to everybody so that they know who they've got as well. Look out for the teams. We will be announcing the teams fully on Twitter. So if you've missed anything, follow the FM Playoffs account on Twitter. Follow this account if you haven't hit the follow already. Come back tomorrow. We will be live at 2 p.m. UK time. That is, I believe, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And some other times as well are also available. But yeah, it's 2 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Scooter will be in the hosting seat, thankfully, for everybody who is absolutely sick of me. I will be here. Tony will be joining us back as well. And we've got somebody else joining.
Kegman plays, I think.
No, it's not. It's Synoptical. Synoptical. I
That's
didn't
what-
nearly forget him.
It's only because Streamlabs says Kegman plays, I think.
Oh, that thing's always wrong. I don't know why that's there. But Rich, Tony, and Jack, you've been brilliant. You've kept me on track most of the night. So thank you very much. Rich, where can people find yourself and what are you up to?
Right, so people can find me on the socials. So on Twitter, it's at Rich Danger Owens. On Twitch, it's it's Rich Danger Owens, but Danger has 2 N's because somebody else has taken Rich Danger Owens. It was me 10 years ago, and I can't remember the password for that account. And
Good one.
Twitch won't let me have it, despite me asking. So yeah, I've been having a little break from streaming recently. Last Monday, I did a 16-hour charity marathon, raised some money for a really, really good cause. And hopefully, come the new year, I'll be starting to stream a little bit more regularly again. So come find me there. It's nice. We have a good time.
Good stuff. Very wholesome lad as well. Jack, where can people find you and what you've been up to?
Yeah, you can find me at GoofyGiord, which it says on the screen there. On Twitch, same on Twitter as well. Currently doing a Forest Green Rovers save, with all the electric stuff that I do, kind of made sense. So yeah, that's me.
Nice one. And Tony, what about yourself? Well, I mean, we'll see you tomorrow, but...
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get double plugs in here, though.
Yeah.
So it's at Tony Jameson on Twitter, and it's Tony Jameson FM on Twitch. We have a Build a Nation save in Indonesia going on, and also a save with Odds Ball Club in Norway, which is basically a link up with the team. So that's very, very exciting. So we're enjoying that one as well.
Nice. Good. And I'm Mallidon. I've been your host. I will probably be sacked from that role for next time after what I have done today, and I probably deserve it massively. I'm Mallidon on most things. Mallidon tweets on Twitter. Mallidon on the old Twitch. We need to go and find a raid, but yeah, please do join us tomorrow, where it will be far more professional, far more competent. I assure you. Thank you very much for coming by. Our competitors now literally have just one night's sleep between them and possible glory or disaster, or a nil point like Tony. I'm sorry, I just had to get that in. Either could happen. Let's go and find ourselves a wee raid. We will find somebody lovely to raid. I wonder if any of the competitors are hanging on. Would anybody? First person to shout in the chat.
Ali's raided into us, so he's done himself out of the raid there.
Welcome in, Ali. Okay, we're raiding in.
If he'd have hung on for 5 more minutes, he'd have been fine. He'd have got it.
Yeah. Hello, Ali. Thank you very much for the raid. Ali, are you delighted with your pick, with your legend? You've got Cafu. I hope you're happy with Cafu. Looks like Ogden and Sai are both staying on by looks of it. It looks like Owen got in there. Do you know what we're gonna do?
Go on, say it.
Yeah,
I can see where you're going with it.
Yeah, you can see where I'm going with this, can't you?
I can, yeah.
Right, we're gonna roll for it. Ogden,
Way.
Sai.
I was waiting for him to just pick someone else.
Roy Keane's somehow on there.
Because he didn't listen to chat. I was waiting for him. I don't listen to chat. Chat don't tell me what to do. I do what I do. My name's Mal.
I listen. We'll give them an equal opportunity. We're equal opportunities people here. Who are we going to? It looks like we're going to Ogden. There we go. I will get this lined up. And we will see you tomorrow. Hopefully be a lot more professional, as I say.
I won't be here, so
thank you everybody for joining. No. I think you did very well. Let's get back to the screen just for the ending screen. So thank you very much. We're going to go and see Owen. He might win tomorrow. So yeah, he's probably going to bottle, but this could be the future playoffs champion.
He has history of bottling.
Enjoy. He does. He does. Oh, Stick's raiding in just as we're raiding over. Hello, Stick. Thank you very much for the raid. We're off to see Owen because Owen's staying on. So, hello, Stick. Hello, Stick. Bye.
Bye, Stick. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Stick.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
guys. Love you. Bye.
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 We're gonna go now. We're gonna go
Love
now.
you, Spread.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye.